welcome back. It's Tuesday. It's Collider Live. I love learning the moods of my crew. And everybody, how are you doing? Mark Ellis, how are you doing? Nice to have you back.
Good, buddy. I'm in a great mood today.
Yeah, I know you are.
I don't know why.
You don't know
sure why.
Just woke up on the right side of the bed.
I woke up on the right side of the bed, I guess. Got a good night's sleep after the Captain Marvel premiere.
Right.
Don't lie. You're sleeping on your couch next to that 150-inch TV.
God, that TV is so big.
You love it.
And Michael Jackson's crimes just get so much worse.
Did you watch? Did you watch the whole thing?
No.
Don't. If you did, just say yes, because we'll talk about it
I'm
later.
an hour into the first one.
Oh wait, I want to wait.
I'm an hour
So
in
it's
total
two
the first one.
episodes, 2 part, 2 hour, right?
Yes.
4 hour total.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we'll talk about that because I know you saw a lot of it. Reilly saw some of it, so apparently
Saw
it's
the
just
first
fucking bonkers. So we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, I didn't have iced tea today though. Like that's why I'm shocked that I feel good. Because I woke up a little late, had to get right here to film our review this morning.
Right.
So no stop by the coffee bean. When I walk in, they all go Norm. I didn't no iced tea, no creation shake, nothing.
Nothing.
I'm
just live. Just
that
live.
Topgolf hat.
Just living life.
flying on Blues Power.
Look at you. See how long that lasted.
Yeah, but Roxy and I had a conversation about maybe a drug that some people might accuse me of being on sometimes.
What's that?
Cocaine, which I've never
Really?
done. But yeah, because
I did not accuse him.
Roxy didn't accuse me.
People don't know you.
But no, we were talking about the term yak because Roxy thought that the term yak was what I said. She's like, Mark, what have you been up to this weekend? And I said a lot of yucks.
Right.
And
you thought he was
I didn't know what the
sniffing
that
out of a
meant.
urinal.
So
or something.
I
What?
said, "What is that?" And he said, "Jokes." And I said, "Oh, yaks." Which is not accurate apparently because yuck sounds bad. But
Doing it for the minutes.
I guess yak is bad.
Yak
heard-
sounds bad too.
Have you ever heard the term like yucks, like yucking it up?
I guess not.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah, I guess not.
She got her yucks and yaks confused, Josh.
Yeah, I
and
did.
then we started talking about what a yak was,
Yeah.
and obviously the yak is an animal
Right.
in the Himalayas. They carry a lot of stuff,
Not
but there's
so
a lot of
obvious.
other things.
I mean, is it obviously an
Yes.
animal?
I knew the yaks from
In the
Dr.
Himalayas?
Seuss.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I knew him from.
Dr.
That's where I
Seussian
learned it.
yaks are the first yaks.
But it was a
kid.
made-up animal at first.
Yeah,
Me too.
I know the animal, but it's not obviously that the animal's in the Himalayas.
But can I tell you what
Obvious.
else the term yak is used for?
What's
As
that?
Roxy hit right on the head, cocaine.
Coca
Yeah.
Loca.
It's like, hey, do you guys have any yak?
But he said that was called gack, which apparently is right
It's also called yak.
You know your references, huh?
And yak is
maybe,
also-
Maybe you are doing it.
This really is.
But I
like,
will
jacked
say
up.
this: if I was ever at a party and somebody's like, "You got yak," I'm like, "You're not getting any." And then if somebody's like, "Yo, give me some of that gack," I'm like, "You either."
Yeah.
You're done. Both
Blow,
of you.
yeah, this is Blow Part 2 with
Yeah.
Mark Ellis.
This is like an adult Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
What happens when you yak and you want gack and then you need yucks? A yak is also shorthand for cognac.
Yeah, you got to be stoned, eat green eggs and ham.
I will not do cocaine in Maine. I will not do it with
On a train.
On a
Yeah,
train.
on the
Thank
train.
you.
There
In
you
a
go.
plane.
There you go. Okay, listen.
With a train.
Reilly, we
Yeah.
have a lot to talk about with this pre-show they did for this Marvel thing. We'll talk about that
This
a
is
little
the
best.
best.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
something.
It's something.
You, I'm getting to last today.
But
'Cause-
by the by,
Yes.
the pre-show that you're talking about, Captain Marvel, I'm in my apartment and I just hear like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and it shook my entire apartment. I like ran out and I was like, "Oh, fly
This is
over
a
for
different. This is a
Captain
different
Marvel."
pre-show.
Did you get to see that?
No, I didn't see
Oh,
it. You saw it?
I
You
was
there?
in line waiting to get
When they did the
our
flyover?
tickets, and they did the flyover, the
Yeah.
Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
It
That's pretty
was
cool.
awesome.
Why were you
saw
there?
it?
I saw it because I was walking
the
over,
hell
and
was
then
I?
but you were still driving up. I was walking to meet you, and then everybody
good.
starts putting up their phones,
Oh,
and I
I
go,
see.
"What?" And I look just in time for it to come over.
Every now and then a Chinook will go over my place, like the
Is that
double.
another word for cook?
Yak.
Yeah.
It's the double the double helicopter that like transports military
Those
heavy
are cool.
things.
Right.
But then I heard the thing, so I ran out and I saw like the tail end of the jets going
Yeah.
by my
We
place.
got one,
Pretty
but we
cool.
were all too drunk to remember it at the Florida State National
We did.
Championship
We did.
game.
That was
I
fun.
think those were stealth bombers.
They were.
Well, I saw him at the World Series also.
The stealth bombers are cool because
Yeah.
they're like shuttling, but they don't make a sound.
No.
When I saw
Until
it,
it's
it was
over your head.
So quiet.
the Angels and
The Blue
Giants.
Angels.
No,
Oh.
the Los Angeles. They were the Los Angeles. Well, they still are the Los. They were the
But there
Anaheim
is Blue
Angels.
Angels.
The Blue Angels did the flyover at Super Bowl 22.
It's all over my head, Josh.
Yeah. What did you do? That's gonna be a sound clip. What did you do last night? Did you see the movie?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did you?
But I wasn't at the premiere with you cool
good
people. I was at a
for you.
screening.
Yeah, the screening.
Yeah.
Still, somebody. So funny. I was talking to Reilly. There was some tweet because there was a picture of the premiere last night, and some guy goes, "Wait a minute! Wait a minute! How is this the premiere? If they've already had screenings before the premiere, it's not really a premiere."
People just
Premiere
don't-
of the premiere.
They don't get how it works. People just don't know.
It was-
You can't be mad.
Oh, this guy was, but he was pissed. It was,
Yeah.
it was so
You know
funny.
what?
It was so funny.
I agree.
Couldn't comprehend.
The funny thing is,
I agree with
The
him.
funny thing is, I do too. But the thing is, He was so pissed. It's
I
like-
would be too.
No, you're
It
not. No,
says-
you're not.
We're at Cast Marvel last night.
You're not
It
pissed.
says world premiere.
Right, it's
the
not the
first time.
And normally they tell you in those things, they go, "This is the first time anyone's seen it."
Yeah,
but like,
it's
people
not.
saw like 2 weeks ago. It was so funny. That's why someone
Alex saw it 6 months ago. He sees these movies like,
sees them all.
I
Yeah.
just saw Creed 3. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
He's talking about Alex? Yeah, Alex comes
Hey,
to me and
Alex.
he's like, hey, I saw King Kong versus Godzilla. None of it was finished. It's like they see these so early. It's like, I saw Creed 3. They didn't have the last 2/3 of the movie,
Right.
but it's so good.
Is it just Jack Black and a green screen just dancing around King Kong versus Godzilla? Like, what is it? Like, what are we
Yes.
seeing?
Yes.
yeah. But
I
Music.
saw The Empire Strikes Back 6 months early. Luke and Kermit the Frog. That's what I saw. But this movie's got twists.
Sick.
wow, yeah.
Wow.
What the hell were we talking about?
Wow.
Captain Marvel.
premiere.
Now, I know the premiere.
The world
but
premiere in air quotes.
the fact that it was world premiere. Yeah.
People saw it at 10 a.m. that
I
morning.
know. It's one of those things. Who gives a shit after a while? But there's someone like last night where they were tweeting it out, and that's why Reilly and I were talking about it. Someone tweeted this morning about. Well, you know, it's you can tell they're shilling. They don't get to go to these premieres if you don't shill. I went there last night to just. The celebrities are walking around. I didn't give a shit. Did you see one picture from me
No,
last
good
night?
work. I was anticipating.
We
I didn't
this is
even
the
think you
first
were there.
I didn't
Wendy
even-
posted 80,000 pictures. You didn't post one.
Nah, they're taking pictures on the signs and everything. I'm like, I just want to jam popcorn in my face and eat the free food
Oh,
after.
this is
Yeah.
this is heartbreaking for me to hear.
Listen,
Old Kristian Harloff's gone soft.
no
He
soft.
doesn't care about the celebrities anymore.
I
Listen.
wanted to. No, you don't listen to nothing. I wanted to go there, and I was in a mood to relax and watch a movie, and then I
Yeah.
did, and I ate some food afterwards. I had a beer, and I relaxed.
I know
and,
you did.
and that's exactly why I went, and that's why I had an experience. So I don't go. The one thing, there was one celebrity that I saw last night that I was in awe of, and I'll tell you, and every single time I see this person, I'm in awe, and it has nothing to do with any celebrity.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Nope.
It's great
Chadwick
man, but no.
Boseman.
Julia Roberts.
No.
Mendelssohn.
No. It was the
Oh,
great.
I know.
Who?
Iger.
It was Bob Iger.
Yeah.
And I was talking to our buddy Rick Hong last night, and I'm looking at Iger, and I'm just like, he's just shaking hands. It's like the president's in the room, and I'm looking at him.
Might
I
be
don't
the
care.
president.
I don't care what people say as far as like any. He's in the Hall of Fame of executives. I say this right.
Yes.
So as I'm sitting there watching him, and Rick Hong was like, "Can you imagine having all that cash?" And I go, "Can you imagine having that brain?" Like that. Can you imagine having that brain?
I'll
Like,
take the cash.
fuck that, dude. That brain, like you said, that because the guy woke up. It's like, what are you doing today? I'm gonna have breakfast. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna buy Marvel. You know, how about you? What are you doing? I'm gonna go walk my dog. You? I'm gonna buy Star Wars. You know, it's like he wakes up and has these thoughts and he gets it done. Like, that's not easy to do. Like so.
No, but
Well,
when you
when you're
have
the
the
president
money,
of Disney.
Wait.
Do it.
There are other presidents of other big corporations, and there's a lot of other executives with as much money as him, if not more, that would want to do that and couldn't get the deal
It's
done.
got to
That's
be way
what I'm
more
saying.
than brain, though. That's drive. It's grit.
It's everything.
Innovation.
It's everything. But it's the brain itself that. But anyway,
Heart.
the point is, it's what he's been able
Soul.
to do. It's just and it doesn't matter if it's movies, sports, whatever it might be.
So you talk to him?
What?
You talk? You ever?
He was, hey,
You ever go up to
Bobby.
him?
What?
Hey, Bobby.
You know what you
Yo.
do? You know what you do to Iger? You go up to him, you say, Bobby, you kiss him on the cheek,
Yeah.
you take out a roll of bills, you give him a 20.
Yeah.
that
Thanks
was
for
it.
coming in,
That's
Bobby.
Right.
Hey, Bobby.
He would
Bobby
be
Iges.
perfect.
Bobby Iges.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is. That's the guy.
Oh.
He bought fucking Pixar.
Come on, he's Iggy's. You know
Hey,
Iggy's.
Bobby
He's
Iges.
a good dude.
Come on, you want to go down to the Fairfax District, get a slice?
Oh, go to Prime Pizza with Life
Come
of
on,
Za.
Bobby. Bobby
Oh.
Iges.
I saw Alan Horn last night, and that's he's like Iger's right hand man. He's like
yeah.
he's the what is he, the Destro?
But he was
to
the president. He was the president of Warner Brothers
right, and then he went to Disney
to work. Yeah.
to
Because
be.
I think he's the president of Disney, and I think Iger's the
Chairman of the board. Right?
yeah.
The
So,
brain.
yeah, just
brain.
like that Carrot
Thank you,
Top
Roxy.
movie.
But
Chairman of the
but
board.
anyway, the point was that was the only as we're leaving. As Reilly and I were leaving, that we.
Ooh, so it went well.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the other.
He walked me. He took me home.
I
Talk
did.
about a flyover.
If you know what I mean.
True, and his
And
fingernails
he
were
clipped
cut.
your nails, yeah.
I
Fingernails
did
were
clip
cut.
my nails.
Yeah, Reilly, I heard.
Really upset
I was
about
talking to
that.
Reilly at the premiere last night, and he said, "Yeah, they got me with the nails thing again." And I'm like, as a fellow fingernail grower,
Yeah, I know.
I sympathize. Now mine
Salute.
are
Yours are all right.
mine are
You're all right.
spick and
Yeah, you
span.
look good.
Did you do an edible last night? You had an edible vibe about you.
Last
when I
night?
was talking to you in the car on the ride over.
Well,
What was the deal with that? My screening too. Everybody was so stoned.
Space.
Everyone was stoned.
Everybody's
Space.
yacked out.
Because there's a cat in the movie, man.
All right, listen here.
Dope?
No, wait. So this we got to talk about this thing last night. First of all, there's two big comedic moments that happened last night with Reilly and myself. So we get there, and we sit. Where we were was pretty good.
Yeah.
They were pretty close up as far as the balcony went, right?
Oh, we had
Great
those
seats.
are the best seats I've ever
But
had.
when we got there, we literally got plopped into a Sweet 16. Like there were all these girls. And
it was
the energy
brutal.
It was like this wall, boom, boom, boom. There. And did you see this person? I'm like, holy shit! And Reilly and I were just trying to chill for a second, and then we're like, this is like a comedy. Like
The whole place is empty. We get there first, and we're like, so we're right there in the middle of the Sweet 16 part. There's like 30 of these girls all right there,
She's
and
like-
we sit in the middle of them.
She said, "There's like 60 of us." I was like, "Holy shit, they haven't shown up yet!" Right? So then we're talking to Ellis, and I said to Reilly, "I go, picture a camera on us right now.
Yeah.
We are out of place, right?" And it was like one of these things.
We looked like we were chaperoning the prom.
The Curb Your Enthusiasm theme was playing while we were sitting there.
Easily, we're like, "Oh, this is going to be a situation." So then, but then we're talking to Ellis. But listen, Roxy, we're talking to Ellis, and then as we're talking to him, out of nowhere, like the energy just shifted, and I go, "What just happened?" I look around, they're all gone, and they all were sitting on the other side now.
Yeah.
I didn't see them get moved or anything too, and it was just
How high were
We're
you
stealth.
that people disappeared?
It was.
Well, they all had their seats, but I think they're all
16-year-olds are very
sitting
quick.
together to talk, and then they're like,
they just
go
went
to your seats.
I could have let loose on a couple of these
why?
preteen BMW driving with
they
their
were
16
quiet during the movie?
For you, maybe.
Oh, were you?
There were two next
you
to
were
me,
a little
squawking.
Oh no!
Like
Yeah.
a couple barnyard hens. Just, did you see that? And I just want to look over
I
and
feel
just
so
unleash holy hell.
bad for you guys at the premiere. I just feel
Oh,
so.
you still saw
You
the
still
movie.
saw it.
I wouldn't go to the premiere.
Thanks,
So who
Roxy.
cares?
It was
What if it was a
hard.
screening?
It was
What's the
very
difference?
hard.
What's the difference?
I wouldn't feel bad for me either.
Oh, come on. What are you in that kind of mood today?
Yeah.
What?
The
Chill out, Roxy. Chill out.
Him too. What happened with you? You came in hot this morning.
Well, yeah, I'm tired of getting force-fed effing wrestling on every damn show.
It wasn't. First of all, do a different show. Do a different show.
I don't
on that
want to
episode.
do Ryan Satin's show. If you want to talk about wrestling, let's do it on something else.
No. 'Cause
Okay.
Do you talk about
Great. As soon
Pittsburgh?
as-
Do you talk about Pittsburgh show your sports
I
on
don't
your
show a Pittsburgh clip on every effing show.
You're not hosting the show.
Great.
So if you were hosting the show, I bet
It'd
you
be
would.
a lot better because it would be without wrestling. That's all.
You think so?
Yes.
You want to try for? You want to
Great.
try? Okay.
Let's do it.
Good.
No wrestling.
We are going to
Done
show.
and
We are
done.
going to show this Ronda Rousey. And you know what? Fuck it. Put it on right now.
Cool.
Put on.
Oh,
So
boy.
last night.
there
The
it
reason
is.
this plays into it because we've been talking about this.
One
So,
girl has a crutch for Christ's
I want to
sake.
talk about Captain Marvel at some point, though, right?
What's happening on the show?
I
right
will
now?
say Captain Marvel
Let
is
me
only
ask you a question. Ron.
slightly
How
less
long have you
scripted
been
than
doing this
wrestling.
show?
A long time.
Okay, so what's the title?
I know.
How often
but
do
that's
we
what
talk
we were
about
just
right
talking
away?
about.
The premiere.
I was
We'll
just
get back to
excited
the premiere.
talk about it.
But I want to jump into
Actually,
something.
it's right here. If
Yeah,
you see it.
yeah. I'd like to jump into
That's what
something
we're talking about.
because we
Main
went
topic,
into
11.
How did I get shit on for this? You fucking did this.
We went-
I didn't do anything.
Okay, all right, take it easy.
To be honest with you, the reason I'm in such a foul mood is because I watched this Michael Jackson thing.
all right, so
And
you're being
it's-
honest now.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
But
Okay.
also, I hate this.
I know, but what I want to show you, this is the point because it goes back to what we were saying. What I don't like, this is what I don't like, and I know the fans too. I'm so sick of it with you, with the elitist fucking attitudes when it
With
comes
wrestling?
to no, not just wrestling. If there's certain things that you guys like, right? No, seriously. If there's, it's like that. It's like that fucking thing. Oh, you like comic book movies? You like Star Wars? Like back to that shit. If people like certain things, instead of like, for example, you're a Steelers fan.
Sure.
I don't shit on the fact that you love the Steelers and you talk about them
Yeah,
all the
but I
time. You
don't
talk
talk
about
about
everything
them on the show ever.
because it's not your show.
I
If
feel
I want to
like,
run
I
I
this,
thought
if
it was our show.
do you produce the show?
I mean, I
no,
help
you
Reilly.
don't.
I feel
No,
like
you don't.
I feel like I went over to Kristian's house and like we're buddies. We haven't seen each other in a while.
Right.
And Kristian had 3 kids, and I'm just like, so this is how you do it. Huh?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna get my
So
car. and leave.
if you
This is-
want to take a break, you can take a break.
No, by all means.
Well, what I want to do is I like
Show
to tie,
your garbage.
I like to tie back into this stuff I like to touch.
You want to call God before?
He did it. He did it. You're wondering. I don't want a wrestling fan to tweet at me or anything. Do we?
It's
That's
fine.
the kind
They
of
can
stuff
go
you get
ahead
yourself
and
in
tweet at
trouble.
me all the time. At the end of the day, I'm not Jeff Dye in the comments yesterday. Poor guy.
I
None
don't,
of us ever will.
The reason why is plays back what we were talking about here last week, where I had the conversation, Mark, where you had Ronda Rousey and Becky
Crutchy.
Lynch. Stop for a second.
I heard
Stop
they
for a
had
second.
some words.
But yeah, on Twitter they were kind of going back and forth. So the question
yeah.
was, we had the conversation: was it all like scripted for the game, or did it start to get serious?
Did they go off the rails?
They definitely started to get serious.
Oh, they got gacked up.
Yeah, for sure. And then
But you
so
just
anyway,
think that's not on authority. Or
I'm pretty certain. So if you go to full screen on this. Now, Ronda Rousey said she was going to not take it easy on Becky Lynch, and you've seen in the past she pulls punches, and it just looks
It's
not.
one of
not,
these Becky Lynch.
She's the one with the
yeah,
crutch.
she's red hair.
Okay, good.
That's what we were talking about yesterday. So anyway, play
Will
this.
the
Just
yuck
turn it
turn
up.
to yak yaks?
Turn it up. Now,
Oh,
but
boy.
watch. But just wait. Watch.
Oh.
Look. Watch the punches. Watch the punches. Like those are like that's a legit knee. Dude, I'm telling you, when you see and when she normally does the arm bar, she kind of like holds it, doesn't hurt. Like she's
punching the mat, dog.
Dude, she's not punching the mat. She was hitting her in the stomach. You'll see in a second. Like that's pulling the arm back. Like she's never done that before.
Ow.
Like, yeah, and then that's Ric Flair's daughter says, "Fuck this." She goes back to do it a second time, but it's like people have been talking about it because like, it looks like she's definitely working stiff, but it's. Yeah, when she comes back in, 'cause she was pissed off because Becky Lynch had said shit about her, like her husband or whatever, too. She's whipping. Like, this is a fucking ex-UFC champion, like throwing. She's Charlotte Flair's like, fuck this. Yeah.
Did she just break her arm?
And she's fucking with her pretty bad.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I love how the ref gets in there. Like, am I reffing a match or is this?
It's just like, yeah, well, because they just went. Because she's always shown, she's always been fine, but she was like, it's like pulling. She steps on her head.
Her face isn't too squished.
But anyway, point is that's
I like her.
taken.
What's her name?
That's Charlotte Flair. Oh yeah, she does
she's
it again,
pretty.
right? That's Ric
Ric
Flair's daughter.
Oh, it's the nature girl.
Like that one. Now she took it easy. Look, see there she's
Yeah,
taking
look,
there she's taking it easy. But then she goes back into this fucking arm bar. You could snap somebody's arm.
You could if the other person isn't complicit with the armbar.
No, I know, but it's
You know?
but it's still. But anyway, the point is, if you go back to look at it, it's a lot rougher.
It is a lot rougher, but I don't think it's as crazy as you're.
Oh, it's pretty. I mean, when you
With
look
the
at
knee, I didn't think she took that knee.
I can tell you, it looked a lot. It looks pretty stiff.
Like,
It
look,
does-
I don't
it
watch
does look-
wrestling. I've
Yeah.
seen wrestling movies. I've seen The Wrestler, so I know.
You're
Like,
expecting it to look like that.
no, I know that these people put themselves through a brutal match. Even if it's scripted, there's still going to be real punches thrown, and you're still going to
Sure.
leave the arena with bruises on your
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
with cuts on your forehead, all that stuff.
It's
so
like stunts in the
that's
ring.
some of that stuff. In no way do I think that was not worked out.
Oh, I'm telling you,
previously.
there was more
You
more
can
to
tell
it.
from
Ronda Rousey won like 30 matches with an armbar. She did that 3 times on this girl.
I think
clearly.
I can't imagine that
And
they
kids
go
aren't
out
getting it.
there.
It's all right. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. When you see,
I
when you
can't
see
say my
other,
piece?
No. I'm just saying you haven't seen the other stuff leading up to
Okay,
it. So
but
it's harder to.
what I'm
to
saying is
compare
that
it
there's
to.
20,000 people there, and I
Right.
can't imagine they get out into a ring and they don't work out. Okay,
Of
so
course they
Ronda's
had
going to
some
throw
of it.
some
Of course
punches,
they
and
did.
Ronda's going to get you into an arm bar.
Of course they did, but the
I
thing
think
is
that-
how much.
So you're
how
talking
much-
about the punches leading up to that.
No. Of course they structure out where it's going to go, but the thing is leading up to it, it's like how intense is she going to go? When you go back and you look at other clips, it's not that intense, and it's not, and it looks somewhere like, oh, okay, she can handle like the punches that she's shown. She's never like snapped those
Yeah,
punches
she might be
like
getting
that.
some personal frustration.
That's
out,
what
but
I'm
it's
saying.
like it's
That's what I'm saying.
if people are acting like, oh, she went off the rails and she actually beat the shit out of this
no,
poor woman.
no one thinks that. No, it's
Okay.
it's
You
that
can
she's
tell in her face.
working stiff means that she just went super intense, and she was just putting in stiff punches.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that Ronda has had a hard time selling things recently.
Yeah.
Actually, she's gotten better recently, but in her face, and this was like, I'm gonna kick the crap out of you.
Yeah, she was
Like,
ready.
you
She was
can
ready to
see.
show like this is what I could
But
do to you.
I still don't think I was expecting worse because I think some of those were not.
pulled some of them.
Yeah, she pulled some of them,
Yeah.
especially towards the end, and I think she could tell like, I've gone a little far.
Do you
I
think
don't
she
think she's
hates
not that.
pulling punches?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
and
I
think-
would if I was her.
That's
me
why
too.
this is the first time she like was actually snapping the punches.
Yeah.
But anyway, just that was something I saw that I was because it helped the product I think a lot though.
I
too.
actually
also-
root for the WWE. I'll tell you why. Because
What?
one of my good friends just got made a writer on the
Because I
WWE.
remember he was trying for a while, right? Who was it? Can you say?
I'm not going to say on
Okay.
air, but yeah, one of my good friends.
Oh, good.
Imagine the look on my face when I found out they write that.
You knew that.
It's not real.
Surely you
All right.
guessed.
I want to jump back. I'm never going to talk.
I love Becky. When
Yeah.
you watch that, you just love her. There's something I get about. I don't think people should be booing Ronda, but there's something I get about just not. She's not as like charismatic in there. You
Right.
don't just want to cheer for her, even though she's a face.
Well, that's what I liked about it, though. What I liked about it was the fact that they actually embraced for the first time that people were booing her, and they just made her a
and
heel.
let her lean into that.
They
Yeah.
made her heel, and she really went into it, and it fit her better. It just fit
I
her better.
agree.
So it was
I
smart.
agree.
I think that was a good move for them, and I think they were going to wind up selling a lot of tickets for WrestleMania.
How much
But
wrestling y'all watching in any given week now?
I haven't
Because they
actually-
have it on like all the time.
I
There's like
haven't-
the app and stuff.
I haven't been able to watch the last few Raws or SmackDowns for a little bit, but I watched like this last night when it came in because I was so we went back, going back to the premiere, like that pre-show thing that happened like last night. You didn't get to just see the actual video of it. Like so, Reilly and I were sitting there, and what they do is Maude Garrett, by the way, should be doing these things all the time.
Yes.
she should be doing them all the time.
Oh,
She
the red
did-
carpet interviews?
They do like
Yeah.
the red arc. So they're hosting the event. They're hosting it's usually a guy and a girl. And
Are you back to Captain Marvel right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't understand what you were. You honestly, I
hosting
didn't know
the red carpet. Who else
I
is
didn't know that
hosting?
you were talking about wrestling.
Yeah, but then I switched.
No, it was
I
tough.
missed
You
it.
said wrestling, you said
I
pre-show,
followed
and
you.
everybody's like, what the
Thank
hell's
you.
a pre-show?
I just
He said back to
Yeah.
he
I
said
just-
back to Captain
That
Marvel.
wasn't that crazy.
I'm on Team Roxy.
Well, it is when we're in the middle of a thought.
I didn't understand what you were talking
Are you
about.
pulling punches?
Are you yacked out?
Are you yakking it?
Yeah, it's
mind bottling.
what
It
mind
is.
bottling. Where did that come from?
That's
that clip?
Macuga.
I said
It's
it.
mind
I mean, I stole it
boggling.
from Step Brothers, I think.
Oh, okay. I see.
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory.
There you go.
Don't
Okay.
confuse those two movies.
Yeah, my
please.
bad.
All right, Ryan, you tell the story because I tried to tell it 4 times. I'm done.
Sorry.
Here, I can
Yeah.
set up because I
It's-
know what you guys
it's
are
just
talking about.
not
But
a fun show.
I'll let Reilly pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Kristian. His Wrestling feelings
No, it's
gone
not that. You're
hoarse.
just being such a cock.
I
It's
like
you,
that.
you're being a cock because
Okay.
the reason why again it's like you can't. It's like because you don't want to talk about it, you don't like it. You,
It's
you,
not
you
that I don't want to
derail the
talk about
fucking
it. It's that I
thing.
get it
But you
jammed down my
derail it.
throat every effing
Then don't
show.
be on the show. If we're gonna talk about it, don't be on the show anymore.
All right, cancel me out for the wrestling
I'm
part.
not gonna cancel you.
Pencil
Just
the
don't do
wrestling
it.
in, and I will go
It's
sign
part
it
of the show. It's
All
like
right,
you have
I
to
like the
upset-
wrestling and the Marvel, and you were talking about Mod.
Yeah, but the fucking
Nice.
thoughts on there too. Is trying to transition back. Wait, we're talking about Captain Marvel now.
I couldn't keep Kristian. I really was lost. I was confused.
But
on
just
Mod.
wait, and eventually we would get there. Eventually we would get back there.
It feels
It's
like-
just in the middle
or
of a
just
conversation, we just
transition and-
stop a
like
conversation.
you're-
we do that in
Mark,
every
do
fucking
something.
show.
Feels like you're trying to walk down a road, right? And you step in a
Oh, it's
puddle,
awful.
right? And so you and Macuga have a little thing, and then that thing gets squashed. But then Roxy wasn't sure where you were going, so she asked a question, and then you got frustrated at that, and then your frustration goes back to Macuga, who once again, because they had a sound drop saying mind bottling, goes off the handle, and now we're talking about wrestling again.
Right.
If you could just let me host this show 5 days a week,
I know.
I think.
Do you want to?
I think, no,
I'll
I do not.
shake your hand right now. You want it?
I'm putting my
do
hand.
it.
I would cut my hand off
You
before I
you
shake
can
that.
have it.
But if I can set this up for everybody, is that Captain Marvel had its world premiere last night.
Good.
The first time anybody's ever seen this movie.
Right.
Flawless.
And what they do at the big Dolby Theater, which is where they had the Oscars, so they have this huge giant screen, and before the movie starts, as people are getting their seats on the red carpet outside, they have an interviewer. They have person A and person B, and they're like, oh my God, Brie Larson, who are you wearing? How excited are you for everybody to see you? And all that kind of crap. And we, who are getting our seats, have to watch this interview. There's nothing,
Yeah.
you can't change the channel.
Yeah.
And it got really bad in the solo premiere, because the solo premiere was also at this theater.
Right.
And the solo premiere, they were asking questions to like effects people, and they were giving away spoilers in
There's
the
a difference,
movie.
though, with the solo
Cops
thing.
Cody and I are like,
Yeah.
I gotta go outside and take a lap because they asked a question to one of the VFX guys in Solo, and they're like, so tell us a little bit about your work on this movie. Well, the shot that opens the movie is on the planet Corellia.
there's
And I'm like, I don't want to
but
know
wait,
this
there's
shit.
there's a difference though between like the Lucasfilm one and like what we saw last night because Lucasfilm has that their host of the Star Wars show host that red carpet.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That they
But
would
don't
do that.
ask
Carboni.
leading questions.
No,
that are gonna-
You're right as far as what they were asking.
Thank
That's
you,
a
Mark.
totally different conversation.
Yeah.
But like when you get when you have like last night, I was saying it before. It was Maude Garrett did one of these things. I can't remember which one she did. It might have been Guardians 2. I don't know what it was. I don't remember
Tiffany
which one.
does the DC ones.
She used to, yeah. Like,
Okay.
But yes, Tiffany's another great example. Tiffany or Maude, they're in the space. They understand it very well, and they know like what to ask questions. They don't make it awkward. Reilly and I last night watched something that was. I mean, it was a disaster.
I wasn't really paying attention. What was the?
It's the I don't know who. Like Reilly goes, "Who is that?" I said, "Someone's cousin."
Yeah.
You know, like
It's just he ran into a very sassy Samuel L. Jackson. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson is just sassified. He gets up there and he's like, "What?" And he's like putting his arms around him and he's making him feel comfortable. He's like, "Yeah, so you like you worked with the cat, right? You like the cat." And Samuel L. Jackson goes, "My character, yeah. No, I don't like the cat." Then he starts to riff and then it starts to go downhill. And it's almost like somebody in the booth is like, "Shit, go back to the cat. Go back to the cat." And he goes, "So, how about that cat?" And Samuel L. Jackson, who is sassified, as I said, is like, "You just asked me that."
that was one. Then he gets Brie Larson.
Oh,
and he says he says to Brie Larson, he says, "Brie, so are you getting people that are coming up to you on the street this last week and telling you how much the character means to them?" She's like, "Well, we didn't really have a chance to be on the street because we were doing a lot of press the last week." And he's like, no, he's like, "But tonight, like on this street," he's like, she goes, "You mean the street that we closed off?" It was just like, the guy, and then he goes, "What about the cat?"
And then he went to a standby. The cat was his A material.
But it was just a disaster.
I find all red carpets just to be unwatchable.
Yeah, it's not
like
tough.
even with
awful.
people that I like, because I watched some of the Oscars red carpet. And the only person, I'm not just saying this because we're friends with her, is that Alicia Malone was like with Maria Menounos. And so she would ask, and Alicia would just give these nice, eloquent answers about who's going to win. But when they throw it to people who are interviewing, my favorite thing that like some cheese dick does, and this was always my thing with like Billy Bush, because like he can't work anymore.
Right.
And it's like, well, maybe give yourself a skill set that is unique as opposed to just being somebody who's on a mic. So who are you wearing?
He was a glorified TMZ reporter.
Right. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing that I love is that they're talking to somebody super famous, like Meryl Streep, right? So you're talking to Meryl Streep, and you're a nobody. You're on E or you're on ABC, and you're like, so, and then they always leave with this, like, "Okay, well, have fun tonight." It's like, oh, thanks. I needed your permission
but you know
to
what
allow myself to enjoy the evening.
What you said about Alicia is the same thing as far as like Maude and Tiffany go. They are not only professionals, but they have a They're prepared, but they're fans of what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know the material.
A lot of these people are just hired they don't know what. Like last night, they had no idea. They couldn't go in depth with what was happening with Captain Marvel and the universe and all this stuff. You put Maude or Tiffany in that position, and it is a different, because Maude, when I was watching Maude during that show, she's laughing with people. She's got a good comedic timing about it, and she's able to maneuver and make it a show. It was tough.
The issue that you have, it's not just the host though, because a lot of times they have producers like it's obvious somebody's yelling, "Hey, bring up the cat," in their ear. That's a very tough thing to negotiate. Is having somebody in your ear, and they're running talent in. So it's not.
But if I put you on that
obsession with the cat?
I gotta see the movie.
Did you check it out last night?
Movie, no.
No, I didn't.
It's a huge part of the movie.
But if I put you in that same position, you would do 100 times better than what.
I'd be okay.
You'd be okay.
I'd be okay.
He would be okay. She would, even though I'm mad at him, he would be okay. Roxy would also be great. So I think like Reilly.
I feel like when you get to Hollywood, you think as like, if you're in our industry, that the red carpet interview is like the creme de la creme, whereas it is the like push down the stairs of Hollywood.
It depends on where you are in the carpet. Like last night, we were walking down, and I point over to Reilly. I go, "Oof, man, they really hit it." Like the very end, like next to like the dumpster was like, who was it? Like it was like the Highland and the Hollywood. I don't even know who they were. Like two brothers. Like just interviewing. They were interviewing like Reilly.
It's a rough job, and it's not like sometimes you are a good host, and sometimes you just have things that are like, and you're a good interviewer, but it's just not clicking that night. But I from the standpoint of like, as somebody who is watching something to be entertained, like whether it's the Oscars red carpet or it's the thing last night, it's just I can't. I don't know who gets entertained by watching those. Is my point.
Right.
The fact that they put it up in front of us and just sit there, and it's the same questions, and they keep going around. Schmoedown, I mean, they love that word nostalgia. Right. They're like, wow, there's so much nostalgia here. I'm like,
that's what they said. It's nostalgia.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So tell me about Blockbuster.
Yeah.
What do you mean? So it was a fucking store that rented movies.
What was your favorite section?
Right.
The section my parents wouldn't let me go near, which wasn't even in Blockbuster.
Right. And what about the cat?
Yeah, and the cat thing.
A lot of times the town can make it easier, though. Like, don't be such a dick.
No. You know what? Sam Jackson and Brie Larson were not being dicks, though.
Not be a dick?
I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you, Josh Macuga.
Okay, that's fine.
Why don't you stop being such a yakety gackety?
So gacky
fucking
on the track.
Nice, Mark.
Well done. Well done.
You son of a bitch.
I'm glad you
I'm going to
mentioned.
put wrestling up there. You're going to watch every goddamn wrestling
Like
clip I
Clockwork
put up there.
Orange.
You just open the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
There you go. And I can actually do that pretty well. Yeah. Well done.
What were you saying, Ross?
I'm glad that Mark mentioned that there's somebody in their ear, though, because sometimes I'll be at a junket or on a carpet, and I don't get to ask what questions I want to ask. It's written out for me, and I have to have them memorized, and I have to deliver that.
That sucks.
And that is what I'm getting paid to do.
Right.
So
They want clips. They want sound bites.
Yeah, and so sometimes sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I'm embarrassed to ask a question. I feel embarrassed, but it's a job.
Yeah.
So when I have creative freedom, I'm really excited to go to these things because I'm a nerd. So I like to hear what they have to say to my questions.
Right.
But sometimes I have to ask questions that I know make you uncomfortable. And trust me, I'm super effing uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah,
but let's just get through it.
But that was also, yes, and that happens a lot of times when you're doing those interviews, for sure. This was more or less of just a red carpet for them, as they were like the pre-show people. Like they should.
And they were hired by
somebody.
Disney or whoever.
Or they snuck in.
Bobby Iger.
It was like Naked Gun. They took out the people that were supposed to be doing it, and
but
they weren't posting
probably
it.
they're going to make a compilation of things, and if
Yeah.
you think that they keep going back to the cat, it's because one of their clips is going to be the answer of all the people cut together about this effing cat.
Just imagine.
I like your production mind there, and that makes a lot of sense.
It
That
does.
was not what happened last night, though. But what you're saying is
Valid, but
very
yeah.
valid.
It's
It
a
just was not the case last
live
night.
stream that they're
Yeah.
trying to get 3 minutes out of. But I just imagine there's like some producer somewhere, like on the other side of town, like in his boxers and his underwear, eating Joe. Like, ask about the cat.
Yeah.
You think
Ask him about the cat. God.
But it's a running joke between two of them, and they're just like, you think he'll do it again? Yeah, ask him to do it again. See if he does it again. And he does. It's like Anchorman.
Call back to the cat.
Yeah, make him do the cat again.
Is the cat like a scroll and it's been hanging with her forever or
No, but
something
you're
silly not.
like
that?
No, but that's not a crazy question.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Anyway, all right. Well, let's just talk about the movie. We're ready there.
About the cat.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Just give me one more question.
That is.
Friskies. Need some Friskies.
I've had to ask about way weirder. The cat's not that weird of a thing to ask about. The cat's like in a huge chunk of the movie.
Yeah, it just happens a lot.
Yeah.
With them asking, it's just
I
a
get it.
panic button.
It's like
I get it.
Malkovich is the producer. I want to see the look on Sam Jackson's face
When you ask about that,
ask about the cat.
right? Ask him about
Ask
that.
about the cat.
All right, the movie. Let's talk about the movie. So there was, it came out. Well, it came out. It's coming out the Friday, right?
The world premiere.
Friday. It comes out on Friday. And so, all right, let's get overall, because Macuga's the only one who did not see it.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Honestly, you guys can say what you want. I mean,
we're not doing spoilers.
It's okay.
We're not
I
doing
can
spoilers.
tell what this movie's going to be like by the trailer.
What do you think? You know what?
no.
Good start.
That's-
No.
yeah.
Let's see if he's right. What do you think the movie's going to be like? And that's kind of a fun thing to do. See if he hits it.
I mean, so her whole life is she's like kind of confused on who she is,
Yes.
and then she finds out who she is, and she has these flashbacks to like being a pilot, and she's like, oh man, I had this friend, and then she's like, oh man, I got to go meet Annette Bening. Annette Bening's like the end all to be all, and then Jude Law, and then she's like, oh, I'm actually a Kroll or a Skrull or a Skrill or
Skrull,
a
you're
Jill,
right, yeah.
Skrull. So I'm actually a Skrull, but I'm like the perfect annotation of like I am the Skrull and human together to make the perfect everything ever. I'm Captain Marvel, up into space, flamey hair. God, let me save the world. Samuel L. Jackson, S.H.I.E.L.D. I need to come down and beat these Skrulls because they can't come onto American soil in 1990. We have to wait until we have to kill them and be a Thanos in Infinity War.
I don't think we can say what percentage is accurate though, because
Why? You don't know. She said a lot.
Yeah, okay.
He didn't bring
No,
up the cat one.
No, I would say.
I did say the
I
cat
would
is a
say
Skrull.
I would say he hit 45%. I give him 45%.
He hit more than I would have hit.
Yeah,
He hit more than I would have hit.
I think
He was
it's
missing a lot.
brutally unfair to your audience to say what percentage Josh hit. or didn't hit.
45% doesn't know.
I don't like movie reviews when they're like, "Oh, get ready for the twist," or
They
stuff
don't know
like
what it
that.
is, but
I don't like
again-
giving away anything with these
And then
things.
He just
Captain
gave a
Marvel
whole.
sees
He just
dead
gave a whole
people.
bunch of gibberish.
What do you think about the tone, Josh? What would would you say is the tone of the film?
I would say it's probably a little more serious than most Marvel films. It won't be like as silly as an Iron Man with his like one-liners. I think that it's like the Skrulls are a little more serious, and Jude Law, like he's good in comedy. Like I've seen The Holiday, it's pretty good.
Great movie.
And a fantastic
Pretty
holiday
good movie,
rom-com. Then you like that maybe he's her brother, like he's got the superpower and the dad, or the dad and the brother, and then like he was originally part of this clan and so was she, and then she like lost her memory, so now she has to go back with the clan. Like you need to be part of us, and Annette Bening's like, no, you need to be part of us, or we're like together we go up in space and like boom bang boom. Clearly she's the most powerful, even though she didn't know she was the most powerful until the end when she becomes the most powerful, and you send her back into space, and then Samuel L. Jackson calls her when he's falling into dust.
Okay, here's the real question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the post-credit scenes?
Post-credit scenes are definitely her getting the
Thing.
the thing from Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay. This is all speculation. So this
Yeah,
is
he did not go to the movie.
I've
people
not
if people are
seen
tuning
the
in,
movie.
going, "Oh my God, you're spoiling it!" This is a complete speculation.
By the by, this is how I pitched my script to
Yes.
Bobby Ikes
Right,
in
Bobby
the
Ikes.
studio.
Hey,
in the
Bobby
studio.
Ikes, he comes
I went. I was
around
like, Bobby,
Yeah.
listen, I got one for you. Her name's Captain Marvel. Okay, it's the name of the brand,
Yeah.
so it's sort of confusing to most non-comic book readers.
Bobby Ikes.
So
Bobby
you've got
Ikes.
Captain Marvel getting the thing from Samuel L. Jackson, and then the second post-credit scene is her like collecting all of the Marvelians and being like, we need to go save
Marvelians?
Earth. Marvelians?
Are you trying to say
Kree?
Avengers, or are you talking
No,
about
doesn't
her
she have
people?
like she's got a
her
people, right?
Okay, her people.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
because-
All right. Listen. So you're pitching stuff. You're pitching
So
stuff.
a lot of things in the room.
And then Becky Lynch comes in
Yeah,
with a
perfect.
crutch.
Much better.
Gets punched by Ronda
Hard.
Rousey.
No-
Hard.
no punches
No
pulled.
punches pulled.
Yeah.
Fake-ish arm bar for the second one. The first one looked a little scary.
Yeah.
I like this, but can you put more cat in it?
Then, I forgot about the
The
cat.
cat army.
The whole
Yes.
time.
Mark
More
tried to
cats.
remind you about the cat 15 times.
Right.
He was the producer in your
Trying to
ear.
help you out here,
Ask
Josh.
about the cat.
Are they
Cats.
ever gonna do a serious review?
When we do.
The cat is actually the cat from Men in Black that's wearing the globe around its neck. The galaxy.
Shared universe. Now I like
See?
it.
Cat.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Again.
Reilly bought it.
Interesting pitch.
You got go picture.
Sorry I yelled at you about wrestling.
Oh, well, hey, look at this.
Hey, we worked it out,
right.
guys.
Come on,
All
I
right,
love
fine.
you.
I
That was an
think
olive
that
branch.
I'm the one who's owed an apology.
Why?
Sorry I yelled at you about
No,
something?
not from you.
Why is
Mark?
that?
I got the heat, and I only asked one question. It was, "Are you talking about Captain
Well, no,
Marvel?"
it was
You know what?
because I pissed him off to you.
It was.
Yeah, totally.
It was.
It's my fault, so I apologize.
It was a light of the flame, and then another issue that could have been discussed later about interrupting conversation. That I said, well, I'm just gonna everything on my mind is coming out right now, and you just happen to be in the line
I
of fire.
snuck him with one little question.
So Macuga is sorry
What's
that
known as
happened.
friendly
Yeah.
fire. Sorry.
It's all Michael Jackson's fault.
Yes. Oh, and we'll talk about
Oh,
and
boy.
we'll talk
Oh,
about that.
yeah,
Let's
Lord.
look. I want to focus
Yeah,
on this
on
first.
Captain Marvel.
I do want to focus on it.
I
Right to
don't even
derail
know-
the conversation again.
I don't even know how you guys felt about the movie. We didn't even talk about it coming in here today.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. So
Let's do it.
Watching the movie, I wanted to see because I saw a lot of different tweets going out there too. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. I think that it was a fun space adventure. There is stuff I did not like, but and I said it last night to you. I think the good far outweighed the bad. I think that Ben Mendelsohn steals the show with his character. And again, there's just certain things that the character did that I saw. Yes, sir.
Does at any one point he have a cigarette hanging from his mouth?
I don't want to tell you that. It's a Marvel movie, and Disney, so you're
Oh,
probably
right, probably
Oh, from Bloodline?
Bloodline,
Yeah.
But I just thought that
Sweaty cigarette.
yeah, I thought Mendelsohn was great. I thought so, and the woman who plays her best friend,
Lashana Lynch.
Lashana
Yeah.
Lynch. Oh yeah, Lashana Lynch also was really good. I thought that there was more to that story that could have been explored, but I still like what they did explore. I think the last half an hour is why you go to this movie. It's a little clunky in the beginning. I was okay with it because I just wanted to see all the other planets and aliens and stuff, and I was just there for a space fun adventure film, and that's what I got. But I think it really gets stronger as far as an overall story and characters towards the end of the movie. The comedy was, to me, way better than anything in Guardians 2 or Ant-Man 2, because when it was not everything hit. Like some of it didn't hit at all, but the characters saying the jokes, it made sense why they were saying them. So I was cool with that, and I thought it tied in nicely to the Avengers. And I thought Brie Larson was good. I didn't think, and I think that also has come down to the character wasn't flushed out nearly enough to what they wanted to do. It was a familiar thing that I had seen before with her character. I thought she pulled off the martial arts and everything too, like the fighting, the action she was great. I think she has become an action star. Bless you.
Sorry, guys.
But yeah, so that's kind of my overall thoughts, and I scored it on our review. That's probably out in a little bit.
Yeah,
Is the embargo up?
Yeah, 6 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, I thought she was great. Like I saw some people on Twitter this morning saying that they thought she was miscast. I don't understand the. I don't understand the criticism. Any issue I had with her was not her acting. It was the lines that she was given. Like
Miscast doesn't mean bad acting though. Miscast doesn't mean it just means that her personality doesn't. It doesn't mean that's not what it means.
Yeah, I know, but it also means that you wanted somebody else in the role,
Sure.
and I don't think that anybody else is going to deliver
maybe
that
not.
material that she's given. I think that she did everything she could with that.
Yeah, I just don't think there's people who said the miscast things were saying bad acting. I think they were saying that her personality just didn't fit what because I mean like JT was one of those people.
But he's wrong.
It's his opinion. It's a
No,
difference of
he's
opinion.
wrong. He's
What
wrong.
would his thumbnail look like? Is the question.
Oh yeah, he's going to be. No, it's going to be like, did I like it?
Right. Well, he already tweeted it out, so he gave it away. But he probably still do that post.
Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah. But I thought she was tremendous. I thought the performances were great, top to bottom. Just like some of the stuff the writing got a little clunky, and it's a very ambitious film from the standpoint of like we're going to show you these entirely different worlds, and you're going to have to process all this. And so I think the audience sometimes feels a little bit like her character does, where it's like, wait, what the hell's going on again? But once you settle into the pace and you get on her level, I think that the rest of the movie flows very, very well.
I agree with that.
And it turns into a movie that I think is worthy of the label of being in the MCU.
Yeah.
I love origin stories.
Yeah.
So was the origin story part of the origin story pretty awesome?
I thought the origin story for her worked pretty well. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple cliche things that find themselves in there, but I think they threw some new things in there. I think it's a good way to introduce her into the universe. What did you think, Rock?
I felt like the origin part of the story worked really well. I feel like they trusted their audience a lot with it. There wasn't too much hand-holding with it. I also, as a fan of Captain Marvel in general, was shocked that they went where they went with this movie. I was not expecting them to do what they pick the story that they picked, and that was really cool for me because I didn't think that we would do that. I don't want to say too much more about that because no spoilers. I loved this movie. Did I say that already?
No, you didn't
I
say that yet.
loved
Oh,
this
nice.
movie. I loved this movie.
Yeah.
This movie touched me. I cried twice during it. I thought that it was funny.
I really like the humor in it.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I think Roxy made a great point by saying that it doesn't hold your hand too much because even like the prom that we were sitting next to, like once the movie started. It's like, hey, we're telling our comic book movie story.
Yes.
You know, we're not doing even like what a movie like the first Iron Man did, where it's like, okay, we're gonna ingratiate you into this character and you get to know this, and then the superhero stuff comes later. Like, you know, right from the get go, this is a superhero movie. This is a fantasy sci-fi film. This is what we're doing, and if you don't like it, you can get the hell.
Well, that's
out.
what I like. That's what I liked about it. Like up top to where because again. You guys know, I'm a Star Wars guy. I always want to see outside the galaxy. And they spent a lot of time outside the galaxy, and I think they set up the rules really well, and it wasn't cheesy outside of the galaxy.
There was some Flash Gordon.
No, again, there's some stuff that you could interpret that there was some, again, things that didn't work for me that were a little cheesy. And there's an ongoing thing that inside of this movie that people loved. Didn't land for me, but there's for different reasons. We'll talk about it in the spoiler thing.
Yeah, there were definitely some lines, some individual lines I could have done without.
Yeah.
That was my biggest critique of it. Is maybe there's a dozen lines in the film where I was like, bummer.
It happens.
But that was seriously my only issue
but it made
with it.
sense
The
that
music, so good.
Yes,
for me.
I agree. I think the music though, because it's a '90s movie.
I shooped a lot of those in the '90s.
I think it's very similar to the jokes, right? That's like there's a lot of times where the jokes work well and it makes sense, and then there are other times where it's like okay.
The music was
some of the songs over the head, banging over the head.
It's whatever the lyrics are or what's happening. Like it was very spot on. Banging over the head is a good way.
Yes.
But for me, as a '90s girl who like totally loved every reference from what you saw in the trailer, the 9 Inch Nails, the leather jacket, that whole thing to every song that they played, which was not '90s music like everybody '90s music, more like '90s music. My specific playlist,
Right.
like that was Roxy Striar's '90s playlist.
See, yeah,
so that
this
was
movie
exciting
is to
for
you
me.
is to like what like '80s movies are to us.
Kinda, but I just
I
it
love
was
90s music.
so
No, but
my
but it's
jam.
different though. She grew up.
Yeah,
in
it's
So did I.
no, you did grow up with
in
it,
the
but
80s.
No, we didn't.
He was born in '82.
Yeah, I was born
Yeah.
I was 10 when 1991 comes around, so it's like
I'm just talking about as far as. But
yeah, I was alive in the 80s, but I responded to a lot more
This is like what I'm
cultural
singing
references
on my
in the
karaoke
Right.
machine in my bedroom.
That's what I mean,
like
though.
those
As a kid,
songs.
it's like you
yeah.
guys are like teenagers.
Yeah,
like,
and
I'm talking about as like a young kid. Like you, it's
I'm like
different.
8
yeah.
in my room jamming
that's what
on
I
my
mean.
karaoke
I
machine.
saw Nirvana live. Why
Right.
isn't Kurt
But-
Cobain
but-
smiling?
right.
I don't understand performers.
So I thought this was awesome. I was really bummed when I left the theater, though, because I thought everybody thought it was awesome. Just from the way that my screening
energy?
was. The energy was
Yeah.
people were shouting, cheering. There's something that took place. I'm sure it happened at your guys at the beginning, right before the film. That happened.
Is there a pre-credit
that
scene?
That didn't happen for you
They
guys?
were
No.
gacked up.
No?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The credits.
Yes.
Yeah, I know
the
what you're talking about.
credits
Yes.
where everybody
Yes.
was
Ah, right,
cheering
right,
and
right.
jumping.
Yes.
And we seemed
Yeah.
to all be in it together.
Yeah.
And so I left thinking like, oh, everybody. And then immediately my yuck was yummed. Different kind.
What is that? What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
She's
My,
what?
my mom always said this to me growing up, saying, "Don't yuck my yum." Like, don't
Your
Don't
mom
fuck it up.
never ever said
don't
that.
yuck my yum. That was her whole thing. Like, if you like something, don't yuck on somebody else's yum.
Okay.
What they say
And-
yum to.
Oh, that happened to you.
Yeah,
last night.
and
My yum.
everybody was yucking
Wow.
my yum.
Like, don't gross out your
People at your screening.
Yeah, because
Don't piss in my
I
pool.
walked
Yeah.
out and this one guy turned to me and was like, "Of course you liked it. They were pandering to women because chicks dig
my God.
cats."
Whoa.
Wait, someone said
Ouch.
that at your screening?
Afterwards, and I was like,
Critic?
because chicks dig cats? What
Who
does
was-
that even mean?
Who was that?
I don't want to say.
Yeah,
I know.
Probably
I
shouldn't.
know.
I
men
can't
who
wait
like
to hear who
cats.
Yeah, I
this was.
can't
And
wait.
I literally looked at
Not
them like,
me, but-
what? What does that even mean?
Yeah, who says something like
Because
that?
chicks dig cats. So I'm just saying that wouldn't have taken place if it wasn't a female in the lead. And I was like, what the
I don't want to
F
throw
is
anybody
wrong?
under the bus, but for John Rocha to say something like
Unbelievable.
that.
It's just like, what is wrong with people? And then I kept hearing other people, like I was sitting next to Ben and Drew. They both really didn't like the movie.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, they both they turned to me and they're like, "So you're gonna give that a bad review?" And I was like, "That was the first thing I heard," and I was like, "What?
Oh, I like this.
What?"
Yeah, but they're like watching
Split.
Kickboxer on their iPhones.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
But
Bananas didn't like it
most
either.
of the people when we left, I would
Sure. I
say,
know.
10 was not loving it.
Okay.
Grace.
No.
Not
And
loving
JT
it.
and his lady didn't like it?
Yeah, exactly.
Split.
So when I walked out, it wasn't like everybody
Was
was
loving
on
it.
it.
Yeah.
It was half and half.
Well,
I
that
can
seems
understand
consistent,
that. I
but
mean, I
yeah.
can understand some of the problems with it. I had some problems with it. It's a little wonky. The direction's not that great, but
No.
it's the characters that save it for me. It's like everybody across the board just it elevated the material. But
Really,
I
see, the
could
character work to me wasn't the strongest. To me, what got me was I thought the action, as far as again a space adventure with crazy action,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that
that's the
filled
stuff
my
that-
need.
Yeah, the action.
yeah.
I thought the
That-
action was
yeah.
was pretty good. I think it's a little. I don't know. Predictable is totally the wrong word to use, but I think that in the action sequences,
Yeah.
they're very well done.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie, and so
I
I
agree.
think anytime you see a movie and you walk out and you don't and it's anything short of great, you can't be that surprised that people don't like it. So for Roxy to think it's great,
I thought it was
and
great,
then
so I
be
was surprised.
shocked.
Yeah.
For
I
me, it
was really
felt
surprised.
like a Phase 1 Marvel movie.
It absolutely
where
felt
they
like that,
really they like they didn't quite hit it yet with the character, but they're like such a great start that
Yes.
you know where it's going.
Almost like First Avenger, right?
First
and
Avenger,
the thing
Thor.
was, and the reason why is
I
because
didn't
this.
feel that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I thought it was. I think it's very accurate to be honest, just because of the way that she doesn't fit in yet to this universe until now. She does obviously, but she didn't. And
Or
the other,
does she?
But the other audience, like even with Doctor Strange, right? When Doctor Strange was put in there, he was kind of mentioned inside of the universe before you kind of knew what was coming. He was a little bit more well known when it came
Was
out.
he?
A little bit more, and he didn't even come in through Phase 1 though. He was Phase 2, right?
He was like
I love that.
the end
But
of
he was
Phase 2
mentioned
and
in
beginning
Winter
of Phase
Soldier.
3.
He was mentioned.
He was
so
mentioned
was
in
that
Winter
Phase-
Soldier.
Yeah.
What are they like? Oh, my buddy Steve.
No, they said
He's
that
got a-
Remember they were targeting.
target
they're going to
people,
target like powerful
yeah,
people.
yeah, Stephen Strange.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I thought that the overall movie I thought was overall fun movie. That's what that's what I'm for.
Rank it for like the Josh Macugas in the world. Like, can I wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Should I wait?
I think that you should check it out. I mean, you could go. Look, I could see you going either way. Honestly, I could see you having fun with it, or I could see you being on the same page as say like Ben and Andrew. So
I kind of see him going more that way.
Ben and Andrew.
Yeah.
Their biggest issue with it, and
I think he's gonna like it.
Their
You're an
biggest issue
optimist,
is they
and I
said
like
they
it.
didn't have a single character they could relate to.
And I don't disagree with that all the way through.
For me, I was like, how? There's so many such relatable moments and characters. But I guess it's different. I don't think this is a guy-girl thing, actually. I just think, like...
Who do you relate to in Iron Man?
Yeah.
Favreau?
What?
Yeah, like who do you relate to in all those?
No, but I think that I understand their
Aunt May?
No, who do you relate to in Iron Man? Is anybody going to look at Iron Man and be like, oh, I'm totally Tony Stark? No.
No.
Right.
I'm totally Pepper Potts? No.
I'm happy.
I'm totally Jarvis?
Happy, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's characters in it like that are the audience's point of view.
For like 5 minutes.
Right.
But I think again, I don't necessarily. That didn't detract anything from me.
That's a weird argument.
She
I'm with Mark on that
also, what we haven't even said yet though, but she also was super duper quirky and weird and kicked ass, and that was really nice to see. Because I think a lot of times when we get these women that are superheroes on screen, they're can kick butt, but they're also just like being really hot. And it was never like, oh, everybody's like, look at that hot girl, which I loved Wonder Woman, but a lot of it was about how beautiful she is and people can't. And that's the point of the character.
Yes.
But with this, Brie Larson's obviously beautiful, but that wasn't the point. She was weird.
Yeah, no, they didn't focus. I agree. They focused on her
cool.
quirkiness, and that part of her I did like. I wish they almost explored that a little bit more. But I will tell you this: watching this, I would like to talk to the writers. You can tell they were Battlestar Galactica fans for sure, because it felt like Battlestar Galactica. And I'm telling you that Katie could have rocked this role during that time for sure. During the
Sackhoff?
Yeah, during the BSG role, there was a lot of stuff, even isms that Brie Larson was doing. I was like this back then in 2006, 2007 when she was on that show. This was tailor made for what she was doing.
It's just like I feel bad for all those 11-year-old billionaire orphans whose parents died outside of a theater who can't relate to this movie. You know, I guess go watch Batman because you can relate to that. Like who relates to Batman? Who's like, Bruce Wayne? We've all been there.
I think they were just they couldn't connect with any. I mean, I don't want to speak
yeah.
to them, but they couldn't connect with any of the characters. But I felt like I was connecting with all of the relationships, all of the characters.
I like the relationship between Sam Jackson and Brie Larson for sure.
I do
and
too.
I think that's one of the things. I think if anything, I think Sam Jackson you could relate to for sure inside of it too. I think you can relate to them. I think you can relate. See, I don't disagree with your argument that you can't relate to Bruce Wayne. There are things inside of Bruce Wayne, things that he did like with loss and stuff that he's had to go through and persevere and make certain decisions. I think you can.
We've all been there.
Just because guys rich.
We haven't had $400 billion.
But that doesn't matter. You can't relate to that aspect.
You ever had $400 billion?
There are other aspects of characters you can
Bobby
relate
I.
to. See?
Okay.
You don't want to get into it. But you can relate to characters that have a lot of money.
I had $400 million once. And it's the best night of my life.
Right.
And I blew it all.
I just don't think it's fair to go after them for saying that they didn't relate to anybody.
No, I'm making a joke, but it's like I just feel like
A yuck?
It's a yuck, not a yak.
Yeah.
But
And then I call
like
it a
to say
yuck.
like I can't relate to anybody, it's hard to do that in any superhero movie.
I don't agree with that. I think the characters are the characters. Characters are characters, and I think that there are aspects of every character that you can relate to, and there's certain things you can relate to. Just because they're a superhero movie.
Which is my point.
Yeah.
Is that I can see Captain Marvel and
You
be like,
can
oh,
relate,
yeah,
you should
there's
be able
things
to.
in there.
You should
Right.
be able
Difference
to.
of opinion.
That's my
what
point. How do
yes.
you relate to Iron Man or Batman
That
and not relate
I
to
see where you're
anything
going
in
with
Captain
there.
Marvel?
What I'm saying with them is that I can understand maybe out of all the characters that were there, they didn't relate to them. I can understand it. I did though, because there's certain things that happened just with Sam Jackson alone that I could
Maybe
relate
they're not
to.
cat people.
Is Ben Mendelsohn rip out Samuel L. Jackson's eye in this movie?
I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you.
That's
Ben
my
Mendelsohn,
thought.
though, man.
He's unbelievable.
He's
And
so good.
going into this, I was like, why is everybody talking about him?
Yeah, you can understand why
And
now.
now I'm like, yeah.
He's the standout of the movie.
He's
for
so
sure.
good.
Yeah.
Is he going to be in more? I guess you can't spoil that.
Can't
either.
spoil it. But I would like to do a spoiler-heavy kind of review on this show, maybe in a couple weeks once everybody has seen it. But it's nuts because we're talking to a few people who ran into like Gray Drake last night and her husband.
Yeah.
And we were talking, but this could be maybe not, I don't know if it's the first time, but Captain Marvel will be in the theater for a little while, and then Avengers comes in to play. So it'd be the first time when they have 2 Marvel movies playing at the same time. Is
Black
that?
Panther is still
Black
in
Panther
theaters.
and
Right.
Infinity War.
Black
That's
Panther
right.
is still in theaters.
And maybe they saw a lot of success out of that, so maybe that's why they did it.
Yeah,
again.
Black Panther came out in February.
Right.
And this is
And
March. And
that's probably exactly why they did it.
Endgame has the same release date as Infinity War.
And
So-
Black Panther kept making money after that too, and it seemed
but
to work for them. So maybe,
Black Panther's kind of an anomaly in the fact that it kept making that much money for that long.
Well,
So,
I think in Endgame too, because there is so much Black Panther that a lot of people that saw Endgame and didn't maybe see Black Panther went to rewatch Black Panther or to go watch Black Panther for the first time. I mean,
What did Gray think?
I didn't get a chance to see her afterwards.
I saw her take a picture with Samuel L. Jackson, I think.
Oh yeah, they're buddies.
Oh.
Yeah, they're buddies. The interviews
cool.
that they've done together.
Gray's the best.
She is.
She is the best.
talk about somebody good on a red carpet.
Yeah.
So speaking to her last night, I was like, why have we not put Gray Drake in a live event yet for Schmoedown?
Sure.
She needs to be in a live event.
awesome.
She's like, I'm down anywhere you want to go. Speaking of which, I got to bring that up. Yesterday we put it on sale in Houston. And speaking of Andrew Guy versus Ben Bateman, a one-on-one match.
Can't relate to either one of those.
Nice. In Houston, it is May 18th at Booker T's Arena.
This is exciting to me.
Really excited. They're going to be competing inside of a wrestling ring, not wrestling each other, playing the
Are you
Schmoedown.
sure?
No, they're not going to
Are you
wrestle.
sure?
No, it's movie trivia, and they're going to be playing each other. And Booker T will be there, which is going to be awesome.
Booker T's going to be on hand.
Yeah, he's doing a meet and greet. You can get meet and greet through our site also too. It's Schmoedownlive.com. You can do meet and greet with us, meet and greet with Booker T.
Do we have to buy meet and greet?
Booker,
For
no.
Booker?
Because I wouldn't be surprised if Booker winds up walking one of these guys down in the ring.
I
wouldn't be surprised.
Would not
Which
shock
one?
me either.
Wouldn't be surprised if
Is he going
you
to knock
found
me
that
on
out
the
a little
pre-show?
later.
Is that the plan?
Now?
Let's
Yes.
let's make Josh do
Absolutely.
the pre-show outside.
No pulling punches.
He's got to interview people. What's it like to be on the street on the sidewalk?
I know. This is why I wish you were a heel.
Hello, Houston.
Put you through a table. But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you to Brad Gilmore and Booker T for making that happen. We are very excited to be going there. They have it's awesome. Their arena. I want to bring up. Am I allowed to show a wrestling clip?
Go
To
ahead.
show the
Yeah,
actual
boy.
arena? Is that
Sure,
all right with
let's
you?
do it.
Here we go.
Bring up.
Well, you're showing me what
See,
the
that was
arena
very
is
nice.
that we're
They
going.
asked you
Bring
to
up
submission.
bring up Booker T reality of wrestling.
How are ticket sales doing in the little bit of time they've been up?
I mean, we sold over 100 tickets already over this last night.
Over 100.
Boom.
Yeah, it was great.
Houston.
So let's go to reality of wrestling right there at the top. Oh, actually, yeah, you go to the episode 240. Yeah, let them walk in. This is the actual arena that we'll be in. Booker T. I'm so excited to be doing that there.
What's the date again?
May 18th.
I'm not.
You're
You're not around.
Nope.
You're at a
Not
wedding.
around. Wedding.
Yeah.
You avoided it. So let's go to the actual. Just go to the actual entrance to
Can
when
I
you
come?
walk in. Depends. We'll see. What
Whoever's
happens.
getting married,
Go back to the
would
entrance.
they want to get married in a wrestling arena? Because we could reroute the wedding to Houston.
They would not.
Yeah. So that's that's the actual arena. Keep going to where the
Hard no.
Is it a real marriage? You
How
get
many
married in a
people does it
wrestling arena?
seat?
I think. Yeah. Look. So imagine Guy or Bateman coming out down the ramp there with the 2 screens in the back.
With those shorts.
Yeah. Look at all that, and like there's people on the sides.
Terrell Tempo. That's
people
pretty cool.
Yeah. Right. There's people all the way on the. There's all the way around. People to watch. I mean, this is awesome.
I challenge Bateman or Guy to wear those shorts.
Check this out, and then we'll have people all around the ring, and we'll put them right in the middle.
It's like
They'll
doing a
walk
show
through
in the
ring.
round.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
Theater no, it's
Yeah.
dope.
And
I'm
then
bummed I'm gonna miss it.
And then there's the 2 screens in the back there, which we can play some of the clips.
Are we in the ring too?
No, we're
know?
going to be outside.
Ooh,
We're going to be at an
Miss
announcer
Bachelor
booth.
jumped that
We'll
rope.
be at the announcer booth.
Where am I?
So, well, it depends if you can
Right
get somebody
there.
to the event.
Roxy's
So-
going to rappel down.
But yeah, so okay, that's good. But thank you once again to Booker and Brad for hooking that up. You can get tickets at the Schmoedownlive.com if you are in the if you're in the Houston area,
you're
if
in
you
the
want to come
Houston
check it
area?
out. But I mean, I think you want a lot of people are flying in just to watch Guy and
Yeah.
Bateman go at it, and you can watch their first team match if you want to go to Patreon. You can go. There's Burnett and Guy faced off against Bateman and Dagnino. So check that out. All right, we're gonna go to break.
Might have some other
What do you
yucks
got?
in Houston that weekend.
Oh, okay.
So May 17th, keep your eyes
Oh,
open.
yeah, so you
And
can't go to that.
and Seattle, Josh and I are going to be there.
Thursday.
Josh,
Week from
Ken
Thursday.
hosting.
Is Ken coming to Houston with you?
Ken might be coming to Houston. Yeah.
Great.
Still working it out, but you can get tickets for Seattle right now. MarkEllisLive.com. Thursday.
You're out?
You should bring
March
Jeff
14th,
Dye with you guys there.
9 p.m. Jeff Dye's a buddy of mine. I have no
He's
idea what
from
happened
Seattle.
yesterday.
He's from Seattle.
I know he's from Seattle.
Yeah.
So is
I know
Brian
he's
Moot,
from Seattle also.
Adam Ray,
Adam,
Right, yeah.
Stephen Brody Stevens started there.
Yeah.
The legend.
The legend.
Ben
All right,
Bateman.
you're out?
Yeah, I got stuff to do.
All right,
Sorry.
good. Have fun with yourself. I thought you want to host
Thanks
the show.
for coming,
every day.
Ellis.
I'm
No,
good.
You're good. Okay. I'm
You
gonna
really
take
Have
Ellis.
fun with your children.
All right. We will be back. When we get back, we will talk about the news. What's news and nonsense? We'll take some phone calls from you guys. Collider Live.
Hey, Collider fans, John Rocha here. Look that behind me. There it is. Collider Sports. That's right. That is happening. We've got some great programming on there already. For those of you that have already watched, thanks so much. We got so much coming down the pike. We're talking about NFL. We're going to talk about NBA. There's plans about NHL. Golf is in the equation now. And, of course, the Premier League show that I host with Jack Hind, that's been in motion for the last couple of weeks. And then an MMA show is on the way from Dennis Zhang, me, and Jay Williams. All those things are happening here at Collider. And look, we want to hear from you, so we want you to listen. We want you to watch. If you're a sports fan, even if you're not a sports fan, we might entertain you, teach you something new about a sport that you may not have known much about, or maybe so deep into it that you wanted to learn even more about it. We've got you covered. You can do that. Follow us on iTunes and on YouTube. You can there watch all the shows or listen to all the shows that you want, and then leave us comments and rate the shows as well and review them. And then let us know what other sports you want us to cover. Look, we're not touching rugby. I'll just tell you that right now. That's as far out as we'll go, or cricket. But maybe in the future, if we go Collider worldwide, that's certainly a possibility. But for right now, Collider Sports is there for you. Take a look at it, take a watch, and let us know what you think.
Oh, hi guys. It's Perry here, and I am going to tell you about The Witching Hour. It is the show that I host along with Collider.com's Haley Fouch. It is in podcast form on the Collider Factory feed, and we also have the video up and running every Tuesday for you right there on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. We talk about everything horror. We're talking TV, movies, the newest releases. We talk about movies that are celebrating anniversaries. We've even talked about books. It's crazy. If it is scary, we are talking about it on The Witching Hour. We also have so many filmmaker interviews, really cool stuff. It's all coming your way every single Tuesday on The Witching Hour. Check it out. Collider Factory, the Collider Podcast YouTube channel.
Hello, Collider Live. My name is Amy Dallin.
And I'm Coy Jandro, and we host a little show we love called Collider Heroes. And it is all of the things we love about movies, TV, comics themselves, all the breaking news, trailers, photos, but not paparazzi photos.
All of the superhero stuff we love, all of the indie comic stuff we love, all the stuff you had no idea was based on comics.
80 years of comic lore have led to this show, and many years in film and TV, and we're living in a golden age of comics, and we want to share all of that zeal with you folks.
So we talk about the stuff that's coming out. We talk about what we hope is coming out. We do fantasy casting of things that should exist. Why don't they exist?
And we do your Twitter questions asking directly to us what we think of certain things. And every single week, since we both actually love and read physical comics buy in print, we have a comic pull list where our 5 biggest favorite books of the week come out, and we dive into those with you guys.
You can buy digital. I'll forgive you. As long as you're paying for your comics. It's all good.
But if you buy in print, you can bag them and board them, and then they're worth more later, because comics are like certain things from the 90s that are totally worth the value. Buy comics, buy in print. Digital's never worth anything later. Buy in print. Keep comic stores alive.
Or we can debate collector's items all day long. We can debate casting. We can debate movie news. We can have all of our friends come join us, as we frequently do. We can ask professionals about their work. We've had some amazing guests come by the show.
Yep. We try to
catch it every Wednesday.
That are on these properties that also love comics. You hear what it's like from their perspective, from inside, from outside. And this is all with the focus of bringing all this news to you guys. And we're here every Wednesday on Collider. And we love this stuff and want to share it with you guys.
We'll see you then.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. That's right, they gave Reilly his own podcast. The Reilly Roundtable is on its new home. It drops every Thursday. The Reilly Roundtable is a little bit about everything. It's about movies and life and movies and everything in between. I like to have on special guests for discussions like Justice League versus Batman v Superman, for discussions about wine tasting, for discussions about UFOs, and everything in between. That's right, the Reilly Roundtable drops on Thursdays on the One-on-One with Kristian Harloff podcast feed, and later on Collider Video's own podcast video network. So check it out every Thursday, the Reilly Roundtable. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Rocha here, one of the hosts for Collider Sports Time. That's our new show there on the Collider Sports Network. It's our flagship show, just like Collider Movie Talk. We get on, talk about a bunch of sports issues of the day and what is burning up social media, what topics are burning up social media. That's what we do on Collider Sports Time. I'm joined by my top 10 co-host, Matt Nost. Me and him, we welcome a bevy of guests every week to talk about NFL, the Major League Baseball playoffs, NHL, and the NBA, which is starting up soon. We're going to talk about that. We also get into UFC stuff, college football, all the stuff that's happening in the world of sports. We're going to cover it on Collider Sports Time. And we're going to take the time to break it all down and give our opinions and our unique takes and unfiltered thoughts on what we think about the sports news of the day. So don't forget to join us every week on Monday for the Collider Sports Time show on the Collider Sports Network. And don't forget to subscribe on the Collider Sports Network on YouTube and on the Collider Sports podcast feed. We're going to bring you all kinds of stuff. Hope to hear from you soon.
We're back on Collider Live here, and straight off his marauding trip in the UK.
Hello.
It is the one, the only, the outlaw, John Rocha is here. Hello, John.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
How was your trip, man? It was good?
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Like,
Have you talked about it on the air yet?
not really.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
I
Talked
Because
about a
otherwise
little bit on sports time
yeah, a
yesterday.
little bit
All
on
right, then
sports.
forget
Time.
it. I don't want to hear it. We want exclusives on this show.
Yeah, no, it was really great. Good time.
Good.
The girlfriend and I, not one battle, not one fight. Which,
Really?
when you're traveling,
Well, then you should move to
Wow.
Europe.
First travel?
First time we've traveled. Yeah.
Right.
We don't really like. And when we
Don't
started,
say you don't fight. You already said
no,
you were
when we
bitter.
started, there were some battles, but over the last few weeks, it's kind
You're
of
learning your rhythm.
down.
You're learning
Yeah.
your rhythm.
Yeah.
We're going. It comes in waves.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
Get ready for the next one.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I can tell you that right now. Yeah, he knows. You know, it goes. In
I'm
waves.
always surprised you and Amanda fight because, like, you love her so much and she loves you so much,
but it's nothing
but
to do
yet
with it.
there's just moments where you guys like,
It's
that's
always-
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's always. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
That's
like
part
anything.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
We're human. We are human beings.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
You're gonna
he and I
fight.
see each other every day. We fought this morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that happened. Yeah, 'cause
Everybody's got their thing.
We're at that
It
point.
was
We're,
very
yeah. But there's a, but yeah. But with us, it's also like a different level, right? Because
Right.
we know each other so well now that it really is like two like
It's brothers.
If it was a
Yeah.
different time, we'd be fighting in the middle of the office and then say,
Sure.
Right.
you know, like
Like
punching
we've
each
done.
other.
Like we've
no,
done.
I'm talking about actually punching each other.
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Physically.
Well, no, I'm saying no. I'm talking about with your brothers when you
Oh,
when you
oh,
tackle
yes.
your brother.
Yeah.
Not for.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If it was
You get him like a little dead arm.
Yeah.
Because we've cursed each other out.
Of course,
Yeah,
that's part
we've
of it.
done that.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm glad that you're not fighting with your girlfriend. Let me know when it happens because it's good. It's good radio.
I can't talk about the marriage anymore, though. Can we talk about that?
Well, yeah. Get yourself in trouble.
Oh my
man.
God, I got my ass in big trouble when
What
I
happened?
mentioned when I was last on here talking about the proposal and shit
Right.
and all again. Apparently, her cousin
Listens.
Oh,
listens
no.
and she's an animator. She's a very successful animator.
Right.
She's a fan of the Outlaw Fan. She was like blown away that I was dating her or her cousin. And so her cousin was listening, and she's like, you guys clipped it out, the talk about the marriage. So she found the clip, listened to it, and she called my girlfriend's sister.
Oh, no.
My girlfriend's the family got involved, and they were like, "How could you
look
not?"
what you did, you little jerk.
Yeah, basically. How could you not invite us? How could you talk about
Oh, right.
this?
So you
Yeah.
came home
So
and there was
I-
arms
oh.
folded,
Oh, yeah.
stomping on the floor.
Yeah.
Like what? Do you,
She, and so my girlfriend, she was great about it in
Yeah.
terms of like she was even-handed about it, but she was like, my family's very upset, and so I was like, you know what? I get it. You said I could talk about it, but it seems like there's certain
did you
things.
tell them hashtag that's the show?
I did.
Listen,
And I
your
said,
family.
I said you gave me approval.
Bunch of dummies.
You just said, listen.
Yeah.
This was a good bit. The audience responded, and you should have too.
You know what? I picked up 3 extra followers.
That's
it was worth it.
That's it.
Oh,
the
boy.
audience really dug it, and it was good radio. So I would appreciate if you could support me as a future son-in-law. That
You should have put Kristian on the phone.
Yeah, you should go after my dreams here because we enhanced the show that day,
Right,
and
right.
that's what you're looking at the negative, sir,
Yeah,
and not the positive.
Hey,
Now,
hey, mom, future mom and dad, could you hold for a second? Kristian, you want to take this?
yeah, right, exactly. Sir, what are you feeling about the Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey fight?
Yes.
It's fake. Well, so speaking of which,
Yeah.
real quick, because I'm not throwing Roxy under the bus because Roxy tries very hard when I bring up.
Roxy's the
WWE.
best.
She loves it. She likes
guys.
WWE.
I'm starting to like you like a lot.
Oh, look at that.
Like, as a person.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We started on rocky ground.
We did. I don't know
did.
how or why.
I know why.
Is it because of Ben?
No.
No, it's because
Who?
you're an
What happened with
asshole.
Because what?
What happened with Ben?
No. What did we start on Rocky?
Yeah, he
no,
doesn't like
because
Ben.
we would fight in Schmoedown and stuff.
Oh no.
No, why would that
okay.
happen?
Everybody fought with Ben and Schmoedown.
Yeah,
He's
no,
a
no.
prick in Schmoedown.
Can I tell you why I think it was? Am I allowed to say why I think it is?
Okay.
You could say what you think.
I think it had to do with the whole TV fights thing in the beginning when you guys are both auditioning. Is that accurate?
There's some truth to what you're saying.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I don't know. So I'm just guessing. Kind of.
No, let's talk about it.
Way
Really?
to stir
What
that.
happened?
Oh.
Do we not talk?
Go ahead.
Should we not talk about it? You can talk about it later, off air.
Oh, this is good. I'm down.
All right, guys. Guess what? The Pokemon train, it never stops.
It's one of those things yesterday. It was the same thing that happened yesterday when we were talking for a bit, and then Jeff Dye came in, and then Roxy and him just kind of like talked, and then it was such a silly show for the first hour.
Yeah.
And then it was like I was steering this big ship.
Yeah, you went full Dr. Phil like the last 30
Yeah.
minutes, and I was like, I want to leave. I got to get out
Oh,
of here.
the last half an hour I thought was the best part of the whole thing.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Brutal.
See, that wasn't when I was looking at the comments. That
Oh, what was the Roxy stuff?
it was the beginning. It was just a little awkward up
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
I think the last half an hour is when everybody kind of settled back
Okay.
into it. But
No, listen, what is this on? What, I wanna hear
hey, I
this.
tried to get you out. You want to go back and
No,
go for
look,
it?
I love rock. No.
Listen. I just got right at you. Want to go back at it? Hey, man,
I do. We're
all
both
right.
East Coast people.
I
It's-
heard that you said some really unfavorable things about me to some very high up people that put my job at Jeopardy. And
For
I heard
what?
it, and I heard it from multiple people.
For what?
For a couple of different things. I don't want to be too specific because I don't want to throw anybody
No,
else
for
under the
TV
bus.
for TV fights.
For a couple of different things, and people that I trust, and like that kept me from liking you for a very long time.
What?
Yeah, but the point is
Because it's my livelihood, not
No,
because it's
absolutely.
your opinion on me, but because it's my livelihood.
But the point is, we got past that now because you guys have been. Because I know for a long time, you guys have been like again. It was hey, how you doing? Now it's like you said, you guys are really friendly with each other now. Getting there.
we are getting there for sure. I also have a hard time, and he knows this, with sometimes how he reacts during Schmoedown, but I have a hard time with how a lot of you guys react during
Right.
Schmoedown.
Yeah.
Because like
Because we take
it's
it too
competitive.
seriously.
yeah, well, it makes
not gonna say too.
Competitive,
It
yeah.
makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that is not a reason to dislike a person.
That's fascinating to me.
And you're talking
I can-
talking
I
about
can
specifically
imagine-
because I also got to protect the shield here. You're
Yeah.
also what you're saying is if there's like a rule or something and people like lose their minds because
lose
of
it
it.
to the point, and honestly, I listened to all the one-on-ones I started with. I
Right.
started with Rocha's because I wanted to understand better. Usually, people who act that way have not lived life, and Rocha has, and so I don't understand how somebody who. It's hard for me to understand how somebody who's gone through what you've gone through or what I've gone through reacts that way to a rule in a game. So it's hard for me that when you're talking
Right.
about when people, and it's not just you, but people like storm out and scream at the top of their lungs, and like it creates a crappy
I see what you're
environment.
saying. Yeah.
It's some drama.
Yeah, it's dramatic, but it's not just you.
No,
Right. No, and that's I've seen other people.
It is.
like
Yeah.
that.
It is.
So I
It
get
is competition.
Yeah.
People react very differently to competition. Some people react. Look, you've been in positions.
My
to
wife's best friend at Jeopardy last weekend
Yeah.
in Big Bear almost punched me in the face
For playing
because
Jeopardy, yeah.
because I said 9 versions of Real Housewives aired instead of 10, and what I meant was 9 cities in the United States have hosted the Real Housewives, and not 10 different versions have aired.
People. Yeah, that's the thing.
People
It's-
get
so there's a
competitive.
Is
lot,
she a real
right.
housewife or what?
No, she just
okay.
loves Real Housewives, and she wanted to get it right because it's
Yeah,
competitive
But in
game amongst
anything,
friends.
right? In games, people get very competitive now, amplified by the fact that you have thousands of people watching you
Totally.
on each
and
match.
I'm super competitive, but like I'll sit there and be so mad at myself, and I won't like
Yell at me and Reilly.
It's yeah. I mean, that's a personal thing, but that wasn't how it started. But that fueled fire, and
That's
then
fascinating to me.
recently I've been like we get along really well,
Yeah.
and especially I really think you have a great voice on this show, and I've told you that.
You're very kind.
So it's been interesting.
Wow, because I thought you hated me, like for whatever reason, because we went for that TV fights job and you got over me, and I thought that you hated that I was in contention for it at all, and
No,
so it was
I
so
brought
that's
you
why
in.
I took it.
Even after I heard what you had said, I still brought you in, and I still convinced them to bring you in.
I can't even think of what I would have said, other than I really wanted the job. Roxy got it. The one thing I do remember is that people told me higher up, like, well, they wanted a female voice. That's why you didn't get it. They wanted a female voice. They told me that.
Right.
So if you're basing it on people who were at that time in charge of that particular network at that time and that show, and remember who the big person in charge of that show was and what happened with
Literally
it.
and figuratively.
Yeah, right. You know?
No, I know. And
so
it wasn't
that's
one,
what I
it
was
wasn't
told.
two. It
Right.
wasn't
I'll take a
three.
shot whenever I can, man. I will take a shot on that dude whenever.
Yeah.
And you should.
Me too, honestly.
And you should.
Although, like, legally, I don't even know what I'm allowed to say. But
Oh,
I'll
right.
take
That's
the
fine.
shot.
Yeah.
But-
Let's
so
talk
it gave
about it
me-
off because
totally.
I would love to know because I
Totally.
will
I'm just
thoroughly
a-
apologize to you
I'm a very
now.
honest person, though,
Yes,
so
you
it
are.
came up on here.
Yeah.
And so
I tried to steer out of it.
you brought it up.
I know, but then I tried to steer out of it.
But I said,
No, Rocha did.
No, I'm never
I
afraid
was
to.
motioning to her, throw
Go-
it.
oh, okay, throw it.
I'm
the
never
dice.
afraid to confront
No,
things if
I
I've
know.
said stuff in the past that was
Yeah.
offensive and apologize for it, or maybe explain what was going on with me. So I have no problem with that. Yeah, so I'm sorry.
Right.
Go to the cat.
Go to the cat. Go to the cat.
Honestly,
All right, guys.
All
So
right,
which
so-
starter are you going to choose? There's 3 different options. Once again, there's the grass fire or water
Jeff,
type. You could do like
die,
the
my
bunny
issue with
type one for the fire.
This show, I mean, ever since like yesterday.
One of those.
yeah,
This
I've had a
chat
rough couple days. on this
Ridiculous.
show.
I heard you were killing it
cannot
with Jeff
keep up with
Dye.
this.
Why? What's going on with the
In the official Collateral
Yeah.
Live group.
in the Facebook group.
Oh shit.
yeah, no, I ain't going to the freaking YouTube comments.
Yeah.
They're all nonsense.
Face group.
The
Face group.
Facebook group is great. No, it's just like,
There
you know.
are YouTube numbers under
and,
it.
and without missing a beat here, I put in, this is one wacky, nutty show. Am I right, guys? And then, God bless you, Jen Kemp. Go to the cat.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
And then
It's
the
true.
cat.
It's something happened yesterday. It was so funny because you go through that first hour of that show yesterday. It was this normal kind of silly vibe, and then it is from hour 2 yesterday all the way up until a minute ago. So let's try to get back track, talk about some positive stuff.
Sure.
Hold on. So Macuga, tell me about the Michael Jackson doc.
No, let's talk about this. I want to talk about
Go ahead.
So recapping, who's seen, who has
I've
seen?
seen,
not
I've seen the
seen-
first
I have
part.
not.
I haven't,
I've
I haven't
seen the
watched
first
any
part.
of
I
it.
haven't watched the frame.
Very on purpose.
Unfortunately, and I think you got the brunt of it.
This is what is really. How much?
because-
You watched more last night?
No, so I finished the first half right before I left this morning.
Oh wow.
God, yeah,
did
you
watch
gotta
more.
sleep that shit
I
off.
know, and the thing was, is I watched the first part of the first,
awful.
like the first part of the first hour of the first part. It's confusing.
Yeah. It's a
part
I
of the
watched
first part.
before bed last night.
It's like 4 hours, right?
And I didn't sleep well at all last night. I am like sickened and disgusted by this.
Wait, let me ask you, because when you're saying that, this is what I'm wondering on Twitter, because my Twitter's obviously blowing up. All of ours are, I'm sure. When people are saying it's awful, they're sickened, they're disgusted, the doc is awful or the subject is awful?
Subject happening.
So, because a lot of people are coming to Michael Jackson's defense. Are you saying?
I don't know how you could.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Were
here's
you a
the thing.
fan going into it?
Oh,
Of Michael
the
Jackson?
biggest Michael Jackson fan.
Oh, yeah.
I won a Michael Jackson. I was like one of the kids in this video. I was like, I won a Michael Jackson dance contest when I was 8 years old. Like I loved Michael Jackson, and his music is like I memorized the Thriller dance in my bedroom. You know what I mean? And and I knew that this like existed because of the trials and everything, but he was never convicted. And I'm not trying to like compare it to R. Kelly because clearly like they're both sexual deviant predators in a very different way.
Yes.
Now the only way I can really compare this situation, and I've only watched the first half, and I'm being told by multiple people, I have dancer friends that know Wade Robson because he's a very, very successful.
So who's Wade Robson?
Wade Robson and this guy Jimmy are the two main people that they've interviewed in the
Accusers.
first part.
Okay.
The accusers of this thing. Jimmy was in a Pepsi commercial with Michael Jackson, and this guy Wade Robson was a Michael Jackson dancer when he was in Australia. And Michael Jackson took them both under his wing and promised them the world. And then basically just sexually assaulted them and ruined these kids' lives for years. And what I've learned in the first part and what I just finished was not only did Michael Jackson, like, okay, for instance, let's just say you're a young girl and you're living in Omaha, Nebraska, and Mick Jagger comes through and it's the 70s and he's like, move to Hollywood, I'll make you a rock star. And so she does. And she moves there, and she's young, and she's impressionable, and she moves there with her parents. And when she gets there, Mick Jagger doesn't return her calls, makes him live in the Oaks, doesn't do anything that they promised him. Meanwhile, he'd become friends with them, called them for hours on end. That's what he did with a 7-year-old boy in Australia. Yeah. And he promised them, sent them fax after fax after fax, talked to them on the phone for 6 hours, and told him, you should move to Los Angeles, I'll take care of you. They get there. There's no car. There's nothing. And the mom takes it upon herself. It's like, well, Michael Jackson is ignoring us now. I have to make a career as best I can. Meanwhile, Michael Jackson has sexually assaulted this boy. He's convinced them to never trust a woman, never trust his family, never trust anybody but Michael Jackson. Right. And he comes here, and this little boy goes on the set of the black and white video, and he sees Michael Jackson with like 3 other boys, and he's ignoring this other boy.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin is one of them.
Yeah.
And it's like the amount of vitriol that I felt watching this time after time. And the thing that is crazy is that 2 men are telling the exact same story with the exact same beats. Imagine you went in.
And they don't know each other.
They don't know each other. Imagine you went in with a Masters of the Universe script and somebody that you'd never met in the world, and there's no way they could have possibly got it. And they went beat by beat and told the exact same story of your Masters of the Universe script, except this is sexual assault with a 7-year-old boy and a 9-year-old boy.
Right.
But Macaulay Culkin, from what I saw, at least I haven't seen the doc, but the Larry King interview that he did said that he completely denies anything took place.
Yeah, maybe it never happened with Macaulay Culkin. But there were tons of other boys who went to Neverland and whose parents, these Australian parents and this other set of parents were like, we went to Neverland, there was other boys there, and all the parents were sworn to secrecy. We weren't allowed to talk about anything. And these guys, and I'm telling you, the reason that, and Wade Robson came out a few years ago and said, now that I have a boy of my own, I'm ready to come out and tell this story, because 1, he was scared to death of Michael Jackson and what Michael Jackson could do to him financially, his career-wise, all that kind of stuff. And 2, and Michael Jackson's dead now, so he doesn't fear the same thing, and because he has a son of his own, he doesn't want to. He feels so terrible that he lied about this, and the other boys that went through the same thing that he did, that Michael Jackson not only ruined their lives, ruined the family's lives, split them apart, ruined marriage after marriage. I mean, it is absolutely disgusting what this man has done. To me, I will. If it comes on the radio, I will change the channel. If it comes on at a bar, I will walk out of the bar. I don't care. That man deserves. What he deserved prison, and the fact that he died, I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for everybody watching this documentary right now, because it is way too accurate of how they describe what this man did for it to be a lie.
For them to people, the Michael Jackson fans, the diehards, are calling these men liars. They have done this. And when you listen to their stories, like
because they don't want to turn the radio
they don't want
He's got jewelry to prove it. I mean, it's
when
crazy.
you compare the two, like he said, the stories match up to a T, and then you see every single family member, everybody is interviewed, everybody is on record, everybody's saying this.
Do they go into the Joe Jackson stuff?
I don't know. I haven't started.
They haven't watched the whole thing. Can I ask you this also though? Because I haven't seen this, but from the questions that I see people coming up with, why is it only 2 of the men in the doc? Do they address that at all?
They haven't yet in part 1. It's a very interesting question. I think a lot of them.
Good question. I think it's. Maybe they're the only ones
Well,
that
there was
wanted to
But think
step
about it like
forward.
this.
The
Think about it
original
like this.
accusation went to trial for was a different kid.
Yes. Right.
And the one kid, the Robeson kid, testified that Michael didn't do anything in 2005, but now he's saying differently now.
And
Yes.
not
Could be
only
'cause he's a
testified
kid.
for that, but also they're saying that he tried to choreograph all of everything in the last 2 years in Michael Jackson's estate. I am not standing up for anybody
You're
by
saying
any
that's
means.
accusation-
This
that's
is what
the
I'm
accusations
seeing
against
on
him.
Twitter
Oh, yeah,
of
Twitter
people
is
being
insane.
like, wait, but what
Really?
about this?
But I mean,
I know.
the defenders of
I'm
Michael Jackson.
I'm a believer of people, and especially these kinds of stories. For me, I haven't even watched it, but I believe people. So.
I can probably answer that. The reason it's the 2 of them is that these are the only 2 who had the courage to step forward and do this.
I don't think
that's fair. I don't think that's fair.
I think the word is that they were. If you are a boy and you are sexually, I mean, look at
They
all
have
the
different lives right now, too, yeah.
And you come out and you say all this stuff, your life is forever flipped
Changed.
upside
That's
down.
what I mean.
Because now people are talking about you.
But they're not claiming that they're the only 2.
No.
They're
And I'm assuming
no
there's
possible
more.
way.
But I mean, what I'm saying is to get up there and do this documentary that premiered at Sundance, that's on HBO. This is a thing.
They were able to get the courage to do it for where they had, and it's not that these other accusers are not courageous. This is one of those things like Josh just said. They might be at a place that we're just like, I don't want it to disrupt my life. I don't want my kids to go through this. I don't want that. It's this chapter.
They spent the therapy not on camera, and they rehash all of this whole thing. I mean,
and it's going to come up for them now anyway with all the press of this.
Another question, because again on Twitter, this has been a big point of contention for people. that they're saying that if this was about a white guy, that this would not be happening right now. Do they
that's
address race in the doc at
Not
all?
at all.
They don't address it.
No, Michael Jackson treated these people like he loved them. He was their family. The most disgusting thing that I've heard so far in part 1 is that the boy Jimmy, because Michael Jackson had basically, excuse my language, just like bang pads all over LA. He had Century City, he had like Wilshire, he had Westwood, all these kind of places, along with Neverland, right? They were all over LA. And he would invite these boys to his place, and he would invite them into his bedroom while like the parents slept on the couch, right? But here's the worst one, is that Jimmy, thinking that he was like Michael Jackson's #1, gets invited to this place in Century City, and while he's there, another boy comes in. Michael Jackson invites the other boy into the bedroom and makes Jimmy sleep on the couch while Jimmy cried for his mom when he's 9 years old. You know how fucking disgusting that is? As a human being, to hear a child cry from your bedroom for his mother and lets him fall asleep on the couch, it is deviant. It is predatorial. It's fucking disgusting.
Okay, fair.
In the doc, is it all firsthand recount and also the people around? Is there what is?
It's all firsthand accounts.
It's people talking about what happened.
So listen. First of all, there's not one thing that you said that was wrong.
No, absolutely not.
As far as how you're feeling, I completely understand where this argument came from the wrestling before, because that's
easy to watch in the morning.
No, this is a different. You're in a very different mood right now.
I mean,
so this makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
And
because you watched the doc.
Macuga said he was heated this morning because he had watched
He came in this morning
that
and
makes sense.
he was heated.
Why would you?
He was heated. He was heated. And
Sometimes you make decisions, you think it'll work,
Yeah.
you think you can handle it. It's
What
like,
about the fact that people are upset that this is happening now, that somebody can't give his firsthand account?
First of all, he would never give his firsthand account ever. He would be spoken through lawyers, and they can interview as many lawyers as they want. I guarantee these families were paid off. It's just because they are scared to death of the man. The man put the fear of God in him in these weird ways, and when you're an impressionable 7-year-old, that will ruin the rest of your life.
Well, not just the man, let's be honest, the estate.
Yeah.
Remember when
They're
once
still
this
doing
documentary, a $100 million lawsuit against HBO to prevent this stuff from coming out, to fight it, they launched a YouTube live concert of Michael Jackson to counter this documentary coming out.
I also think they have a counter doc coming out, his
Yeah.
family. Of
course.
Because one of the members of the family messaged me the other day about
Really?
it, saying,
Ooh,
because you guys know that, well, whatever. But I got messaged that saying, like, don't believe these lies.
Right.
that's
Here's
what's all
something
over
to-
Twitter.
That's
You
what's
have a
the hard
connection to the
thing.
family.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just-
but in no way, shape, or form do I have a friend like this.
No,
they are. They are fans.
Acquaintances.
They're
Oh,
fans.
fans, okay.
Yeah, they're fans.
You can listen.
And I'm not saying that's judging my. I'm asking questions. I'm being
No.
a journalist.
Yeah.
No, and ask all the questions you want, because, like I said, I was the biggest Michael Jackson fan in the world, and the last thing I wanted to do was go in and believe this. I wanted to poke holes in every single one of the stories that these kids told. But it is so disturbingly obvious that what these kids are saying is the truth. I don't think you come out in a documentary to defame a man. Like for Wade Robson, the reason that he came out is Michael Jackson made his career. Why would he come out? He came out and do it now because he passed away, and he can finally have the peace of mind that Michael Jackson isn't going to ruin his life.
Right.
I think that's the danger of this whole thing, is that people start to put a normal approach to this and go, why didn't you come out earlier? Why didn't you do this? And if you've never been sexually abused or
you have
sexually
no idea.
assaulted,
And by one of the most famous people in the world.
and being male, it's even harder. A lot of studies have put out that it's even harder for men to come forward about sexual assault because of how the culture is put forth. And not that women, of course,
I
it's
know
always
you
harder,
mean.
but
I know what you
but
mean.
the embarrassment for men in
Yes.
that way amongst men.
You're
talking
here.
about.
Look at what
It's
what's his,
terrible.
God, it is Terry.
Cruz?
Yes.
Yeah, Terry Crews, right. With him,
Terry
and the
Crews-
black community has turned on him on Twitter at
Right.
times. A lot of people have come after him, going like, "Why weren't you man enough to fight him? What were all those muscles for?" And it's like, wow,
Right. Because he was assaulted and he came out and said, and he got
As
a
an
lot
adult.
of shit for it. Yeah.
These kids, this man is, like you said, the biggest star on the planet at this point. I mean, just releases Bad and Thriller. I mean, he's the biggest star on the planet. Can't go anywhere. And these boys, that's their hero, and their hero brings them to their house, calls them on the telephone. They're 7, 8 years old. Like, there isn't anything that they can possibly do, because Michael Jackson tells them, "Hey, don't tell your parents. Hey, this is between us and God."
Well, he was. I mean, I think we all know, and we'll probably go into it. He was a very disturbed, fucked up dude.
Yeah.
And and that's why I bring up the Joe Jackson stuff too, because Joe Jackson
Did him no favors.
Oh, he abused those motherfuckers.
Yes.
I mean, he really bad. And I mean, it's poor kids, the Jacksons.
Yes.
And the poor kids. What he did to what Joe Jackson did to that entire family. And it's by no means an excuse of what you had to what you watched, but I'm just saying that it was that it's usually always. That's why I always say when it comes to the simplest thing like a troll, and we talked about it last week. You never know what's going on in someone's life because, and I joke with Reilly all the time. The best person in the world that you know has access to Twitter, and the worst person you know has access to Twitter. Well, it's also the same thing. Like the person with the best family life of all time has access to it all, and the same person with the most fucked up background of all time is out there. And you don't know what they're going through. Yeah. So this obviously led. All the abuse that with Joe Jackson led to his way of the world, like you said, like he's telling you to avoid women, don't trust your family. I mean,
he's a 9-year-old boy trapped in an adult man's body.
But then you have to ask yourself, how does Lisa Marie Presley get with this guy and marry him? How does the
publicity?
The other,
publicity. That's more publicity.
Maybe it was a Scientology. Was like, what does she need publicity for? She's Elvis's daughter.
Yeah, it's Michael Jackson. Look, the same reason two powerful people, whether it's Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt or the other people like they do it all the time. Like Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. You know,
and I don't know if I'm getting this right. She's Out of My Life was a song from the 70s. I think he wrote that for Tatum O'Neal. They had a relationship in the 70s. So like it wasn't he was like just sleeping with boys the whole time. There's other stuff here going on. And I think it got worse, as Josh was pointing out. Like it seems like it got worse as he got older and he started to play into this. And the fact that he was exchanging, and Reilly was talking about this too this morning, exchanging out as soon as the boys got a certain age, the younger ones came. You're just like, holy God, if this is true, you're just like, this is like beyond the pale of what you expect.
Watching footage of him again on Twitter, not in the doc, with some young boy. I don't know if it was one of these two young boys or not, being interviewed. This was footage that aired where the young boy's like, and he made me sleep in his bed and I really didn't want to. And Michael's like, I told you that's what the best thing in the world a person can do for you is share their bed with you, remember? And he's like, yeah, I remember. And that was like a broadcast and nobody questioned it.
It's... What's tough, and I mean, is when this boy and his family comes out from Australia. Like this kid was this stud, like young dancer in Australia. Wade Robson was, right? And his mom said we could only go so far in Australia, and he wanted to be big time. And Michael Jackson promised us the world. They fly across the world to Los Angeles. Michael Jackson promised them this, and this, and then just never called, never responded to calls.
Look, it is a very very disturbing story, and it's all 4 parts are on HBO now.
It's only 2 parts. It's 4 hours.
I don't want to watch, but that's just being ignorant, and I'm like closing my eyes, and I need to watch it.
Right, it's like stick your head in the sand.
Yeah, I'm literally like,
make up your own mind.
Yeah.
Make up your own mind. If you want to call them liars, fine, but make up your own mind. Watch it.
I know
it's hard. But these men did it.
All right, so let's move on now, though. I know there's a couple other things. Reilly, anything big dropping in news, or should we get to some phone calls?
We know what the biggest thing that's happened in the last.
Tomorrow is finally getting a fucking sequel.
There it is. Yeah. Thank you for pulling that. That's the big news.
Is there something big?
The Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones
trailer.
It sounded like you were doing sarcasm, but you weren't.
I'm eating my words because I said on TV Talk this week I don't think that HBO will release a full trailer, and they did because I thought that they would want to keep everything so secret. Now, does this trailer give away much? No, not
really. It's a minute, right?
It's a minute.
A minute and a half, I think.
And thoughts on the trailer?
Yeah, we did. Perry and I watched it this morning for a reaction. Fantastic. And all it does is set up the battle that's coming. That's all it does. Great voiceover from Arya, great voiceover from Jon Snow. But I think the highlight of that entire trailer is Cersei. Because what Lena Headey, what she does in the facial expression, the 2 shots of her, one when she's smirking, that's full power, and 2, when she goes through 3 different emotions in one shot, you're just like, oh, this woman's already planning what to do after the battle, and no one else is thinking about that. That's going to be insane.
I was trying to do the Copster.
Me too.
Just wait until April.
Right.
I'll watch it.
It doesn't give away anything.
I'm just going to watch this one. I'm going to pull the Copster. I'm just going to watch this one, and I'm only going to watch it the 2 times I watched it already.
Yeah.
And that's that.
No, I'm going to watch it 80 times and watch everything else that they put out, and I'm going to just keep on watching.
All right. So this is the question for the table, though.
There's a flip.
Yeah, there's a flip. This is a question for the table, though, and be completely honest.
Okay.
What was the biggest flub? Bespin, Calvin Klein, or Lena Headey?
Okay.
I think Lena Headey.
You say Headey.
I do.
All right, so just to set. So Bespin was a Star Wars thing when he was hosting a Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Calvin Klein and Fruit of the Loom, very different.
I know.
And no one's name would be Fruit of the Loom. Jane.
I don't know. Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah, Jane Fonda's one too, but he knew the answer just to write it down. So, but I would say
I knew the answer.
Reilly, what do you say out of the three?
I still think Bespin.
You think Bespin?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought
Sandlot
before
was the worst.
That
Sandlot wasn't good.
That wasn't good.
Oh yeah, no, that's
That
my
was also
biggest
pretty
one.
That
bad.
wasn't
Yeah.
good.
But for me, the funniest one is Fruit of the Loom. Like Bespin's like insulting to your knowledge. Fruit of the Loom is just.
It's the funniest.
I couldn't agree with you more.
It's the funniest, but the worst. I don't know if it's the worst.
I mean, if you've seen Back to the
You
Future
know
more
it's
than
Calvin
once,
Klein.
you know that he goes by the
know.
name Calvin Klein. He goes, I don't know that. And we thought, oh, he's fucking with us. Fruit of the Loom?
I
What?
I
was like, oh.
I was there that day. I know.
What would you say?
Well,
Out of you get
to
pick.
be fair,
I don't know if you can be
Can I
on
just
this
put
one.
myself a little bit?
everybody yelled when that question was answered or asked, and
Yeah.
it threw me off. Yeah, that's where it
comes
came from.
Yeah.
Because I threw me off, and I had thought
Yeah.
Calvin Klein in my mind, and I was like, no, or was it Sergio Valente, the jeans from there, or Jordache? So I got totally
How many times have you
lost,
seen Back to
'cause
the
I hadn't
Future?
seen it in a long time.
Wow.
So
You didn't
I'm
lo-
not
you don't
one of
love that
these
movie.
slavish devotees to Back to the Future. It's a good movie, but I don't go see it on rotation.
Okay.
I've
seen it. I've seen it like 50 times.
You're right, and I get it, but like for whatever reason,
Slavish devotee. We're gonna let it go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
it's a phrase.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there, and so I was like, okay, and I was like, oh, fuck, what underwear? It went, and I just was thrown off. Fruit of the Loom, and it's one of those.
Because Brad
Dude, I know.
Gilmore and
Self-
Frank don't ever let you live that
No,
up.
no, and it's one of those self things that like self-destructive moments I've had in the Schmoedown where I'm like I overthink the thing, question myself, and then I go fuck it and answer the
Yeah.
wrong thing.
Dude,
and
I've
get
done
screwed.
it. Sandlot.
Yeah.
And the same thing. Everybody was like, Reilly's going to get this. Reilly's going to get
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
When I
yeah.
didn't get it, everybody's like, oh.
my
and
God.
I just, and
What
I
the
went,
fuck is wrong
and
with
I just
me?
pulled the first fucking thing that was in my head, which happened to be the Sandlot.
I thought I won the match.
This was a fucking big deal.
It's really
This
good.
is not a big fucking deal.
I heard this by the
Yes.
Isn't that great?
I tried to
Speaking
protect.
of-
Yeah.
I-
You did
Roxy,
try.
you're my hero.
You did try.
Was it
I tried,
Abigail Slane or somebody on Twitter
Breslin?
yesterday that she master cut 45
Oh,
minutes
yes.
of my
Oh, yeah.
Guesses.
Schmoedown guessing. Right? Here's the funny part. I'm rewatching it going like, I don't know that answer.
You're just guessing.
You got to be in the moment.
That's amazing.
I want to bring this up. How come people question me when I'm like, but they don't question him when he pulls stuff out of his ass?
Because there's a
What?
difference.
Because he's really pulling it out of his
yeah,
ass.
because-
Really?
here,
You don't think I'm thinking
People
about
question Bubby Brister's past
yeah.
attempts. They
Macuga-
don't question Bo Jackson's
But
runs.
for a long time, Macuga had the title of best guesser. He
You
assumed.
made
Oh,
a bid out of
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, but he has been dethroned
By?
Stacey Howard.
Oh, right.
Oh, my
Stacey
God,
Howard's
Stacey.
is the best I've ever seen.
You never know what you're gonna get.
But the reason why is because a lot of times it looks like you would. Ben does it all the time now, and people are waiting for whether because
Ben's a son of a bitch about it.
Because he's used it now. He's used it now because you don't know if he knows it or not.
Right.
Because he's always fucking with you. But everyone thought that's what you did.
Yeah.
And you did it. But you did it a few times.
I've never done it.
Come on.
No. I swear to God, I swear to
Really?
my dead father that I've
You don't need
never
to do that.
Well, I need to do that to make it clear.
All right, fine.
I've never ever
It escalated
faked that
really
shit.
quick.
Rocha's like, my dead dad will come
I just want to make it clear.
if we ever do a co-ed team tournament,
Oh my God.
Yeah, we should.
team guessing.
Oh.
Team guess who?
Team Guess Who.
Me and Stacey.
Yeah, we got to
Howard.
reveal soon who her new
Guess
partner is.
who?
I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
that's a good
Is it
one.
me?
It's gonna be good. No, you're not competing. Remember?
Oh.
Yeah. You want to compete?
forgot.
You
You
yelled
versus
at me
Brett?
the last
Can I
time
come?
I
Would you
even
do
had a
you
trivia.
versus Brett exhibition match?
TV?
Would you do you versus Macuga exhibition match TV?
TV?
That's Fed TV.
Ooh.
But Macuga's the best in this.
Well, that's the whole
I don't
thing.
know about that.
At TV?
I'm okay.
I'll
So a
team
couple
up with
nights
them.
ago, so right now Jeopardy is doing the All-Star
Jeopardy.
No, All-Star. It's like the All-Star, it's a team tournament, right, in Jeopardy. It's actually pretty fun. And the other night,
Jeopardy.
this team lost on a double Jeopardy question, and it's movie soundtracks.
Yes.
Oh,
you're
now-
gonna play it for us?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna ask you. So the $400 question is staying alive more than a woman.
Yeah.
Saturday,
BG.
Saturday
Saturday
Night
Night
Fever.
Fever.
I give you the songs, you give me the movie.
I give you the movie.
Okay.
You give me the movie. Whatever.
Oh, I'm so
He's
lost.
giving me the songs. I give him the movie.
So the $800 question, a 2005 adaptation, Along Came Bialy, Hi-Oh Myself.
God bless you.
The producers.
Correct, Mark Reilly. The $1,200 question, a 1967 film, Scarborough Fair, April Comes She Will.
The
By the way,
Graduate.
I already answered these.
Yeah, Broke already answered these. Mark got it. Okay, now here's the daily double.
I don't compete.
The guy was playing on Team Buzzy. He went full daily double to win it to go into the finals.
Right.
He went full daily double and did not get it right.
This one.
1994.
There you go, Riley.
Son of a preacher man. Girl, you'll be a woman soon.
Let me get Pulp
Oh
Fiction.
my God,
There it
that's
is.
yeah.
I don't know how this
He missed that one. That's
He
the
missed
easiest.
that one.
He missed that.
That was the
That
easiest one.
was the $500 one.
No, that was
was
just the full daily double.
That was a
It
full daily
was a
double.
$1,600 question if it was
How
the
old
game.
was this guy?
I just got the game.
How old was he?
Us, our age.
Really?
Yep.
And he didn't get that?
Yep.
You just got the game.
And then here's the $2,000 question, which I got immediately and nobody else did.
Yes.
A 2018 sequel, if I could turn back time, Mutant Convoy.
Oh, yeah. I did not get this one.
If I could turn.
Oh,
And a mutant convoy. Wait,
Greatest Showman.
got it.
Sequel.
No.
Cody, go ahead.
Deadpool 2.
Correct.
yeah.
Mutant Convoy is the giveaway.
That's yeah. Shit.
But the guy went full daily double. The team got, and here's the crazy part, is that his team was so heavily favored to win that wild card to make it into the finals. It'd have been like if Merle and Rocha lost to like Zac Efron in a wig and Ghost, Rocha's dad.
I know that you're the next host of Jeopardy. But why haven't you ever gone on?
I've taken the test a couple times. It's really hard to get through.
Oh,
It's really hard to get through.
But
Yeah, he's
you
tried,
would
of course.
want to
Yeah, I've
compete.
tried.
You
Oh,
would-
absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, him and you and Trebek are buddies now.
We're best buds.
Get him on.
Yeah.
We'll get you
He keeps
on.
going on interviews and telling people that I'm not going to replace him. I think he's just throwing smoke
What's the
signals.
test? It's like it just gives
It's
you
50 questions. Here are my like gaps in knowledge. It's like 18th century literature, 19th century literature, like that is very tough.
Yeah.
All kinds of like novels and poets and that kind of stuff. Like I'm not super well read. I talk about it on TV Talk all the time. It's pop culture, sports, like potpourri, general knowledge questions I'm very good at. But when you take the test, 20 questions are like poets, authors, literature, that kind of stuff.
And you can do it. All right. Look, so here's the thing. We're going to do some phone calls and some hashtag Collider Live, but we're going to do. Cody, you got time for a 3-minute break?
Sure. Give me 20 seconds to prepare.
Okay. So we're going to go to break because.
You got to pee?
Very much so.
Yeah.
All right. 2 bottles of
I can
water.
sense it.
Yeah, it's like it's time. So I'm going to hit the bathroom and we'll come back in 20 minutes or 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2
3
minutes.
minutes.
5
3
minutes.
minutes.
2 minutes.
There. No, it's not late to the party. That's actually from Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't know that? Well, you should, and now you do. Jedi Council. What is it?
show.
It's about Star Wars, obviously. It's Jedi Council. Every week, the latest and greatest in Star Wars movie news. Myself and Ken Knapsack, that's right, the pit boss himself. We have a guest on, and we talk about everything happening in the world of Star Wars. If it's the movie news, the TV news, canon news, comic books, games, and then we take questions from you guys on Facebook and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm still excited talking about it. The fan base is coming together again. I believe it is. I think it is. I hope it is. And we're talking Star Wars, so we'd like you.
Speaking of Star Wars,
If you're not a fan of Star Wars, come on over and join us every Thursday for Collider Jedi Council here on Collider Video. And we have an Apple Podcast feed or Podcast One, wherever you want to go if you listen to podcasts. And not only do you get Collider Jedi Council every week on Thursday, The Rule of Two with Mark Fernandez and Mark Reilly, that's on every week. I believe it drops on Wednesday. It's on one of these days. It's a good show. You should listen to it. I like it. I listen to it. I haven't listened to it once.
Hey guys, Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com. And if you're a pro wrestling fan, which I hope you are, even if it's in secret, then you should be checking out Wrestling Sheet Radio Weekly. We've got a bunch of shows in the podcast feed. We've got weekly recaps from myself and John Rocha, which you guys will probably know from the Collider family. That's for Raw, that's for SmackDown. We've also got the weekly roundup of wrestling news. It's a show I host called Wrestling Sheet Radio with Jamie Iovine and Elijah Bates. And we've also got a bunch of other stuff in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/wrestling sheet. So check it out, subscribe, and I hope you guys dig it.
Hey guys, Perry here to remind you to tune in for Collider Movie Talk every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4 p.m. PT Live. We are live. We talk about movies. We answer your live Twitter questions. It's so much fun. We talk about everything from box office to all your favorite superhero movies. We talk about horror on a good day for me, and who knows, maybe even a spoonerism will happen. I don't know. That's what happens when you watch Collider TV Mock, right? Are you going to watch? You better watch. Go watch now.
What's up, Collider fans? If you are a fan of television and you want to watch a guy that looks like me and a guy named Thad Williams talk about TV every single Friday, subscribe to the Collider channel. Collider Podcast is where you can find the video. We have our own iTunes feed, hashtag Collider TV Talk. You can find it on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts and you listen to them.
Where are you ice cream
That's
fucks?
where Collider TV Talk comes at you. We talk about TV news. We talk about shows we love, shows that we don't
Get ready
love.
for it,
And most
fucks.
importantly, we don't read any books because TV has nothing to do with reading. We also have a show called Hypothetical Questions with myself and Roxy Striar and all kinds of reviews right here at the Collider Podcast channel and the Collider TV Talk feed. Subscribe, rate, like, tell your friends, tell all your friends to tell their friends, and before you know it, it's a pyramid scheme of television. I'm Josh Macuga. You can see Thad Williams and myself along with Roxy.
I was really hoping Rocha was going to leave the mic all the way up there and do one of those. All right, guys. Again, to let everybody know, to kind of recap,
How was your pee?
It was amazing,
Delightful.
It was just it's one of those
Delightful.
It was just gotta relax. Come in here.
Delightful.
Thank you so much.
Nice. You know me and puns.
I'll do some puns.
Thanks, guys.
Hey.
Oh, so it's me, Bobby Ice.
And me and Bobby Eggs are doing the puns.
Yeah.
Hey, got a slice in the Fairfax district.
Brie Larson, more like Scree Larson. Was there a Screes? Screes?
Screes. They're known as screes and crolls.
They're known as Cree and Scroll.
Cree, I was close. More like Cree Larson.
So was I close with Hetty and Headley.
Hey, there's a few things I want to show before we get into some phone calls, and I want to show you that one video of the guy in the convenience store, because this is awesome. Wait, go back. Go to the beginning, please. Don't show it yet.
Oh, yeah.
Don't show it yet. Thank you for ruining
You got to
that.
describe what's happening though, because our iTunes
I know,
people keep
I know,
tweeting
I'm
at me
gonna do it.
saying
Oh,
they
I
don't
saw
know
this
what
is
they're talking
great.
about.
So this, I don't know where this is. But this, you see this guy in the black hat, a real scumbag.
There's four
right?
people in line at a convenience store.
Yeah, and so there's a guy that he's standing right near I don't know, near the Coke machine, and this guy's drunk or homeless. Some guy just starts slamming him into the thing. It
Just slamming his
and nobody,
head.
and nobody, but watch. Now here comes this woman.
She
And
works
She's
there.
like, yo, boom, and she just boom. It's Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Look,
that was Captain
but watch.
Marvel
She
stuff.
stops my face, kicks him in the nuts.
And then boom, right hand lays the guy out.
Is out.
Creed 2
Lays
Still haven't
him
watched it.
out and walks away like a boss.
and gets behind the counter.
Yeah, and take and
do you want a Gatorade? You need a Gatorade?
Is that was her, right? She,
Yeah.
she-
And this guy's
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
High five.
Yes.
Why was
Dr.
that
Mark.
other guy doing that?
I don't know. I don't know the
He's a
story behind
scumbag.
it.
Wrestling is fake.
What's so funny though is that this is from like 3 years ago, and now it's or 2 years ago, and now it's coming out.
I love
like
her.
that chick
I love
a
her.
lot.
She's
cool.
small but mighty. She's just like in her. Yeah.
But she didn't hesitate for a second. She just came in and look, and the guy knows she works there, and she's like, "I don't care, come get
Was
me."
that a
motherfucker."
convenience store Larson there?
Yeah.
No?
You've had better.
Okay,
You've had better.
Well, look,
Convenience
at least
store?
you're coming out of the hole. That's all I can say. You're coming out of the hole. What else did we show? So is there another song or something
Why-
over there? What's going on? We have
Why
songs?
convenience store?
Convenience
Yeah,
store.
but why?
Convenience
Why?
store?
But it's not
I said
convenience. store.
con.
You didn't.
Breed.
Yeah. Go back to the one you had. So this one, did we play this yesterday? I don't know if we did. We do.
No.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like to win a goldfish here?
Say what now? Roxy
Yeah.
Harloff. Macuga. Reilly.
Right?
Hi.
This is Collider Live, motherfuckers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roxy Striar in the kitchen, popping beers and making chicken. Little sugar, little spice. She be cooking while she high, but that don't matter. It's Collider Live. Kristian Harloff in his backyard, killing squirrels. Oh, be so damn hard. Why can't they just die, bitch? I'm so fucking tired of this shit. I'm gonna get the gun, gonna fuck shit up. This shit about be lit. Ooga, ooga, that's Macuga. He be screaming like a girl of Michael, Jason, Freddy, Chucky. If you make it, you'll be lucky. All these cats are very scary, but not for Reilly, Wolf, or Perry. Oh my God, I think I'm hungry. Could go for something really yummy. I heard Collider has some milk and cookies. Do I want some? I said, hell yeah, just don't give me what Roxy's eating. Pretty sure it could be human. What the fuck?
Deal. I eat more meat than anybody I know. If I had to eat a human, I would. I have no problem. I would try human as quickly as I would try dog.
What is happening right now?
You guys are saying you would never eat a human.
Trying to win a goldfish here. Wanna win a gold this year? I'm trying to win a gold this year. Wanna win a gold this year? Pennies, quarters, nickels, dimes. Put your money on the line. The one thing I know is for sure, anything goes like a lot of life. Trying to win a gold this year. Wanna win a gold this year? Trying to win a gold this year. Wanna win a gold this year?
All right, that's Filmmaker 12 who put that out on SoundCloud.
That's pretty dope.
So
That's good.
I
Yeah,
like
so
that. He
look,
can
they're
spit.
they're
Stand by
coming
it.
out of the woodwork. There was another guy who sent me one on the Facebook group this morning.
I think I saw that one,
Yeah,
too.
but the only thing is that it's like I want to see. It's a YouTube video. I want to see the lyrics on it because they're really good lyrics, and I'm waiting to get the lyrics version back, and then we'll play that, guys. But the amount of talent that's coming out because David B.
Did Rocha see his animation?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
did?
He sent it to me in London. Yeah, it was.
You
really,
loved it, right?
It was blast.
It was so
I don't know
good.
why I'm riding around with a black woman, but yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a little weird. My girlfriend is not black, so I was just like,
maybe- how does he know?
Okay,
He doesn't know.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
I thought that was an allusion to something, so I was like, oh, interesting.
No,
okay,
no, it was-
let's roll with it.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yes.
Totally different thing. Last night was the fence jump on Bachelor.
I heard about this.
What is
Whoa.
this?
A
How'd it
session
go?
with the fence jump?
Yes. It's the end of the shit. Dude, there.
Is it a good jump?
I've been
Does it-
watching.
does it work?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It made it
works
worth
why he did
it?
it?
Wow.
Yeah.
People went insane.
Can you
Because-
spoil it? It's
I
The Bachelor.
don't think any of our audience
No, they
cares.
don't. Because I was tweeting all
Yeah,
over
here's
the
the,
Bachelor
here's the
last
jump.
night.
There's the jump.
There's the jump.
Okay, so tell me what happens. Yeah, tell us about
so
the
what
jump.
happens is he's on fantasy suites, right? So
Yes.
he's got his 3 girls in fantasy suites, whatever. He goes on a
Serena's
fantasy
taking her pee break. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
He goes on a fantasy suite with Tayshia. It doesn't go well. You can tell he doesn't lose his virginity with her in the
Okay.
fantasy suite. They
Oh,
like
it's
made
virginity
out.
on the line.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
fantasy suite. You can tell
On
that
the line.
the chemistry is meh. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? You could tell the whole date that she was trying real hard, and he was like, "All right, I got to end this date, whatever." So then he is supposed to go on his fantasy suite with Cassie, who's the one that you picked.
Yes.
Right? And her dad flies to Portugal. Cassie's dad flies to Portugal
Okay.
to basically talk her out because he.
Oh.
Wait, was she in
See,
Portugal?
Reilly, there you
Yeah,
go.
they were all in Portugal.
Reilly, there you go.
So
There it is.
Cassie's dad did not give Colton the blessing at the
Oh,
hometowns.
see, Reilly?
Right?
Okay, Reilly
And
likes this now.
so,
Should've
so the
watched
dad
this.
comes
Yeah.
in and basically is like, "Do you love this man? Are you ready to spend the rest of life?" And then my favorite part is when Cassie's like, spending your life, the rest of your life with someone is like a really big deal. I'm like, yeah, okay, no shit.
Wait, is this the
Shirley.
person that you think's going to win?
This
Thought so,
person
yeah.
that thinks
That's
going to win,
the one I
right?
brought up. I think so. We got to look at her face.
So the dad basically talks her out of it, and she's going there for the fantasy suite to like tell Colton all about it. And they have this breakdown. He's shaking like a scared chihuahua because she's gonna walk away from him. She's dressed like a mother of dragons, like she is all in this
Khaleesi
chainmail.
style.
She looks like Khaleesi. It's amazing. And she's
and
like,
he's in love with her, so he's
and
shaking.
he's
So I was
telling
right?
her, well, we haven't
We're
seen
getting
anything
there,
yet. We're
though.
getting there.
But my prediction looks good.
Your prediction looks real good.
Okay.
And he's like, "I love you. You can't leave. You can't leave." And she's like, "I
He
can't
said,
go
"I love
through
you."
with this." Oh yeah, he told her,
Yeah,
"You're
they
the
don't
one I
let you do that
want. You're
normally.
the only one I want. Whatever.
Wow.
I don't care if it's it'll be me and you right now." She's like, "I just can't. I can't do it. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready."
She said that.
She's saying this to
Wow.
all him. So she walks
Whoa.
out, gets in the car sobbing. Colton's like, I'm out, and he like walks away. He jumps the thing, and everybody's like, "Where did he go? We have no idea." And it ends with him being lost.
By him
What about the
jumping over
third
wall.
girl?
The third girl still has no idea what any of this is
Oh,
happening.
my
This was
God.
on day 2. This was on the second
And they haven't
date.
showed it yet.
So Hannah G has no idea that any of this
And they
is
haven't
happening.
shown that yet.
But he's in love with Cassie.
Correct.
He's still going to have sex with Hannah G?
No, he hasn't had sex with anybody. He's a virgin. So he
Right.
didn't have sex with Tayshia.
Right.
I
Well, he's not getting laid
guarantee
now.
you
He
was
jumped over the
about
wall.
to
Probably
have
hit his
sex
balls
with-
on that thing and
Did you
damaged
guys
himself.
see that thing that came out on social media this week? A picture of him Snapchatting his friend being like, "I just got laid from years ago, like just bangs this whatever girl."
What?
There was a picture on Snapchat.
He said he used to lie about it, though.
Oh.
He did say he used to.
that?
He
Oh,
did
then
say he
maybe
used to
that was
tell
part
his
of a
friends
lie.
he used to lie about it. So
Interesting.
Oh.
maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, he's a football player, you know. I mean, there's a lot of peer pressure
Anyway,
as far as sex in the locker room.
well,
But
he's
yes,
leaping over walls.
the
Saying maybe
leap
he's
was
not.
interesting.
All right, well there you go. So the leap happened last night. I do want to get a phone call. Hey, do we have any phone calls? Any people calling in?
Not quite.
Thank you,
Stand
Cody. Hashtag Clyde Alive. You got something good?
hashtag.
Your mic's not working.
I can't stop watching that jump. Like,
It's good. Yeah.
That's
Oh, here you
unbelievable.
go. Try that.
Captain Marvel
No?
stuff.
What happened to your microphone?
I don't know.
You want mine?
Hey, Alex.
Here.
Batteries are dead over here.
Oh, okay. All right,
Okay.
Riley, go ahead.
I sent you something, Cody, but there's a hashtag that came in from Sam Anderson, and it said Macuga wins. We got a thumbnail for JTE's movie review here.
Oh.
What do you
Let's
think?
say bring it up. Bring it
Yeah,
up.
I
Well,
want
if
to. Did you
Macuga
get
wins-
it?
Bring up JTE's
Did you get it,
movie review.
Cody? I slacked you.
Oh, you probably
No, I
just
don't
bring.
have Slack on that computer, Mark.
Well, couldn't you just?
Okay.
Where is it? Can you just bring it up on his channel? I'm sure, right? Or his
Well,
Twitter?
I mean, I have it on my computer, but nobody's
No,
gonna see
no.
it. Yeah, go to his.
Look,
you
there it
go
is.
to his
There it
Twitter.
is.
Oh,
You're
that's
right. You nailed it. He's got it. So zoom in on that if you can, Cody. I don't know if you can move the camera into the. But you can do one of your comedy shots there.
All right, guys, one thing at a time. Hold on.
All right, sorry. What else did we ask you to do?
These thumbnails.
What? Those thumbnails? Yeah, look.
JT's thumbnails are the best in the game, dude. The best in the game.
Look how inquisitive he is.
Yeah, he's so concerned.
He's so good. Yeah, he doesn't.
And he kind of looks like
He wants
he's
you
got
to
the
be
same
concerned.
smolder as Brie Larson.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's not even close.
Look at JT.
Roxy did not.
I
like
miss him
that
so
show.
much.
I actually think that he looks really good there. I
You
think
think JT looks
that
good?
is a
It's a
good
good photo.
thumbnail, and I think he looks good, and it is a good smolder.
Yeah, but here's what you
smolder.
don't. Yeah, but here's the thing though. You don't know the
Smolder and
history.
Scully.
No, I do know the
You
history.
do know the
yeah,
history?
I know the history of the
That's all he
thumbnail,
does.
the JT
That-
thumbnail.
That's all.
I know.
I mean,
I know, but
that's
I-
a stock photo.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. He's like,
I don't
let me
know,
use-
is it?
He's like, should I use
No,
the thumb?
he's got a few.
Should I use my thumb to the chin?
But
Is that
you'd
on this
think
one?
he would go with like a Patriot shirt instead of a Pepsi shirt.
I
Like
don't-
this might be a new one.
Nothing.
Well, it's
JT.
not necessarily a Pepsi shirt.
Yeah. But we
What does it
look. I
say?
miss JT. We haven't seen him in a while.
We don't know.
How about phone calls now? We got someone. All right, good. Hey, you're in Collider. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Chase from Panama City, Florida.
Hey,
Oh,
Chase. What's
nice.
up, brother? What's going on
Mark
today?
Ellis lived in Panama City.
Yeah, I've been there before for
Yeah,
the
me
spring
too.
break.
Me too.
Maybe they were roommates.
How you doing, man? What's going on?
Yeah, I was actually one of the cringy guys that kind of showed up here earlier. I think I called like a while ago. I don't know. I was pretty cringy back then. But anyways, I do want to say congrats on you guys talking about Game of Thrones. I had my finger on the pulse on the subscribe button. I was like really close there. But no, I really wanted to talk to you guys about
Did you
on.
did you mean unsubscribing because you're worried about spoilers?
Oh, no. I was just hoping you guys would talk about it. Kind of a little bit like what you guys with Cody talking about Pokemon.
I see.
But anyways, so...
Was that a dig? I'm confused.
Yeah, he was going to unsubscribe if we didn't talk about Game of Thrones.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is that how tenuous your fandom is?
He's joking. He's joking.
I think.
Give
it's a
it-
yoke.
Continue.
It's a yoke.
All right, go ahead, Florida.
Stop breaking. Everyone's breaking his balls. I know. You're
You guys
okay.
are good.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So what do you got,
but,
Panama City?
All right. So actually, it was funny enough. When the hurricane hit, I stayed with in-laws, and my sister-in-law was like, "Hey, why don't you watch this show with me?" I'm like, "It's an anime show, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, hey, "I'm not into anime so much." And she's like, "Well, don't worry. It's nothing too fantastical. There's no fantasy. There's no sci-fi. It's something easy to get into, and it's called Haikyuu. And it's basically this volleyball. Haikyuu is Japanese for volleyball,
Okay.
and it's basically
I thought it
this
was
thing that's like
poem,
that's
575.
basically about
That's
these
haiku.
high school guys going into the nationals. And they have different personalities. One of them's
Are you
kind of
pitching
cocky.
us an anime show right now?
No, he's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
That,
Oh, it's the one
I
that
feel
you
like
watch.
does Fife watch it? Because I feel
I'm
like
sure
probably
she knows.
be great.
I was just thinking
yeah.
about it. Like Emma Fife, I'm sure knows what this show is for
Yeah,
sure.
I've never even heard
So
of it.
you're saying it's a show that we should check out.
Well, actually, what I'm saying is that this is a show that basically is not fantasy-based. It's not sci-fi-based. It talks about more human it's a more personal and human-based kind of TV show. And I wonder if that would actually translate a lot easier to American audiences than for like a live-action show or TV series or even a movie, rather than something that's more fantasy or sci-fi-based, like Alita or like Ghost in the Shell, because they kind of don't seem like they're doing as well, apparently. So I just want to see what you guys' thoughts on that.
Thank you very much for the phone call. Appreciate it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not so much the plot; it's the actual anime itself. It just doesn't translate to the mass
everyone.
audience. It's the 2D animation. It's the anime. It could legitimately be Game of Thrones anime, and you could tell me it's Game of Thrones anime. It's just not going to translate to the.
I think you're right in the fact that if you remember, the Animatrix.
I was just going to bring that up.
The Animatrix to me is some of the. Outside of the first movie, the best storytelling that the Matrix has ever done. Like if they would have done those stories as movies, but a lot of people don't remember it, or a lot of people didn't see it because it was animated and it came out like hardcore fans saw it, but the mass audience don't know it. And I think it happens a lot. Look, Clone Wars, Rebels, right? There's a lot of great stories inside of it. Not of people. Look at animation sometimes the same way Ellis and Macuga honestly look at wrestling. Sometimes when it's
I'll take that.
It's the animated. It's not as serious as the live action movies. I hear that shit all the time.
Yeah,
and it's like this is for me. I take it all in. But anime's never really spoken to me. But that doesn't mean it can't be a great story.
No, sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's a great story. I just so happen that like my brain does not equate with anime. I can't watch it. It just it doesn't matter the story.
I feel ignorant as all the time about it because I'm like, why? Why isn't this correlating with me?
Correct.
Ace used to pitch me stuff always.
He loves anime.
Always, because Ace and I have a lot of similar opinions on live action shows. We watch like crazy ones together, and he I just can't. I don't know what it is. There's something about it that I talk about not being able to relate to characters. There was something about it where it's like this wall, but it's beautiful.
Right.
And I don't think about it as how some people think about wrestling. I think about it as a form of art, absolutely.
Right.
It's just
not for you.
me necessarily.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, there's 3 minutes left. So you got something to say? Just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I'm just here for the fun.
No, he was doing it so well. He's like, I'm gonna try. Oh, you guys want to hear from me? That's fine. But do you have an opinion on it?
Well, I own some anime, and I do enjoy it.
Thank you
but
so
I
much
think,
for the opinion.
Well,
Okay,
I think
so-
what he's saying though is the transferring over.
Yeah.
Right, and I think it does work. You just got to have the right directors and writers involved. Same thing. Look, we've done American video games, and they haven't transferred over
Correct.
and done
Right.
great feature film. It's about getting the quality of talent. Look, there's some terrible superhero films before we're in this renaissance we are now that we're like, oh God, these are horrible adaptations. That Electro
These will
film,
never work.
The Punisher, right? It'll never work. So you just have to have the right talent involved. You can do that, and don't freaking whitewash. That's kind of the number one thing with Ghost in the Shell.
There's a difference between like still the platform of anime and the platform of live action. Because live action, you're right that if you get it right, the story and everything too, that's a medium that people just keep going to and want to see, and you have the mass audience there. As where anime has a very big audience. There's no doubt about it.
Worldwide.
It's huge. But what I mean, as far as all the way mainstream to it doesn't reach that. And will it ever? I don't know. It's the same way again that I think that animation will never reach the same type of, whether it's warranted or not, respect that a live action movie can get, which I think is a crime sometimes, because I think there's stories so far inside of Rebels that have surpassed a lot of stuff that I've seen.
I've gotten the only argument, like heated argument I've ever gotten into with Perry is about The Incredibles being a superhero film versus an animated film. And I always say that that Incredibles is an animated superhero film. It's not a superhero film because it's not live action. But that's just my opinion.
Dumb take.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, listen.
What happened to Twat Take, huh?
It went away. Bring it back.
Well, I got a lot of hate for mispronouncing twat.
Okay, can we hold this till tomorrow? 'Cause it's
Yeah, I
12
guess
o'clock.
You would put Incredibles 2 in the same category with Spider-Verse then, right? Animated superhero
I would
film,
put
not a
those in-
superhero movie.
Correct.
All right.
Interesting.
It's 12 o'clock. Thank you, Cody. That is the show. We got there. It's 12 o'clock. Tomorrow we'll be back again. I don't know who's going to be here, and God help us all. So go to theschmoedownlive.com and get the tickets for Houston. Please do that. Andrew Guy versus Ben Bateman. What do you got? What's wrong?
Mark Ellis, Ken Knapsack, myself, March 14th, Seattle, Columbia City Theater. It's a Thursday night, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. show.
And LA, get your asses out to March 23rd at the free for all, 2 p.m. PST. Subscribe to everything here on Collider, the podcast, Apple Podcast, the YouTube channel. Go to the podcast YouTube channel, leave some comments, go to the Facebook group, do it all, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Smell that Ewok.